Chapter 2937. On the battle stage, Mo Yi and Absolute Sword were already fighting fiercely. Mo Ye's battle strength was about the same as the Everlasting Sword Dao. In terms of offensive power, he was slightly weaker than the Everlasting Sword Dao. However, Mo Ye's techniques were even stranger. However, he was still no match for Absolute Sword. Under Absolute sword images, he relied on all kinds of strange techniques to last a moment longer than the Everlasting Sword Dao. However, he was still heavily injured and was knocked off the battle stage. Absolute Sword is truly a peerless genius. His battle strength is truly high. Some youths from the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace laughed, looking at the people from the Qin Tian Star Field. On the other hand, the Qin Tian Star Field's side was silent. There were countless people around the plaza, but no one spoke. The atmosphere was extremely tense. The opponent, a 6th-level Heavenly God Realm Divine Son, had consecutively defeated 2 people of the same level. Mo Yi and the Everlasting Sword Dao had been defeated consecutively. This was a heavy blow to the Qin Tian Star Field's people. Now, the opponent still had 6 people, while the Qin Tian Star Field only had 7 people left. In their opinion, the only ones who had the strength to fight against the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace's heavenly geniuses were the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine and Bing Xian. As for the others, facing a heavenly genius like Absolute Sword, they probably wouldn't be able to take a single move. And the opponent still had 6 people, each one of them unfathomably strong. How were they going to fight this battle? Are we sure to lose? There's only 10 years left. Many people felt despair. Even more people could only remain silent, hoping for a miracle to happen. You two, who's up? Absolute Sword's battle intent sword. His gaze locked onto the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine and Bing Xian. As for the others, he didn't even spare them a glance. The Scarlet Flame Devil Pine and Bing Xian exchanged a glance. They saw that Lu Ming didn't have any intention of going up, so they could only go up first. I'll go. The Scarlet Flame Devil Pine roared and charged onto the battle stage. You've used up a lot of divine energy. Originally, I didn't want to take advantage of you, but this battle is a battle of attrition. Don't say I won't have an unfair advantage. Crimson Flame Demon Pine said. His voice was deep and strong. As he spoke, he took a step forward and walked towards the Absolute Sword. With every step he took, his aura grew stronger. Boom! Raging flames rushed out of his body. These flames were incomparably viscous, like magma. 7th level of the Heavenly God Realm, the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine is at the 7th level of the Heavenly God Realm. Someone exclaimed. Then, many people in the Qin Tian Starfield were overjoyed. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's cultivation base had already reached the 7th level of the Heavenly God Realm. There was hope now. 7th level Celestial God? That's more interesting. The Absolute Sword Silk was fearless. Around his body, sword shadows constantly appeared. Sunluo Sword Domain, 10,000 sword slaying gods, kill! Absolute Sword shouted coldly and pressed both of his hands forward. Countless sword shadows attacked the Red Flame Demonic Pine. Roar the Scarlet Flame Demon let out a roar as his body swelled rapidly and transformed into an ancient god. The ancient god that the Red Flame Demonic Pine had transformed into was also a 100-meter-tall ancient god with orange armor. In the past, Bing Qing had told Lu Ming that there were a total of 4 geniuses in the Qin Heavenly Star Field that had successfully refined the ancient god physique. They were Sword Dao Wuji, Mo Ji, Scarlet Flame Devil Pine, and Bing Xian. As soon as the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine attacked, he transformed into an ancient god physique. At the same time, his ancient god physique was covered in scorching flames. He had merged his innate secret arts with his ancient god physique, making him even stronger. Falling Star. The Scarlet Flame Devil Pine roared and punched with both fists. His fists seemed to have turned into lava, and the lava turned into 2 huge meteors that shot toward Absolute Sword. The temperature on the stage rapidly rose. Another ancient god physique. Lose. Absolute Sword roared. thousands of sword shadows formed a river that shot toward the scarlet flame devil pine. Boom! Their attacks collided, causing a series of explosions. At the start, it was difficult to determine a victor. But after a while, the scarlet flame devil pine's fists surged. His lava fists smashed through the thousands of sword shadows and shot toward Absolute Sword. Absolute Sword had fought 2 battles in a row and had exhausted a lot of his divine power. On the other hand, the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine's cultivation base was at the 7th level of the Heavenly God realm. He wasn't someone that Sword Dao Wuji and Emoji could compare to. "You're the one losing," the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine roared. His mountain-like fists continued to smash down. The sky shook, and the temperature rose to a terrifying level. Even the air was about to burn. Huge meteors were smashing toward Absolute Sword. "Don't be happy too early. Absolute Heaven Strike." Absolute Sword roared. Terrifying sword chi shot out of his eyes. He waved his hands, and the sword shadows in the sky converged into one. Absolute Sword's body seemed to have merged with the thousands of sword shadows, turning into a resplendent sword light. Swish! This sword light instantly destroyed several meteors and shot toward the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine. This was Absolute Sword's strongest attack. It was terrifyingly powerful, causing the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine's pupils to shrink. Myriad Divine Fists, Star Explosion. The Scarlet Flame Devil Pine roared. All the flames on his body gathered on his fists. In an instant he sent out thousands of punches. Those thousands of punches were sent out in an instant. From an outsider's point of view, it looked like thousands of fist shadows had appeared in front of the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine. Those fist shadows were completely condensed from flames and shot toward Absolute Sword. Boom! A heaven-shaking explosion came from the battle stage. The entire battle stage was constantly shaking. Boundless energy spread in all directions, but it was blocked by the battle stage's formations. Many people with weaker cultivations could only see the sky full of flames and sword light blocking the figures of the Red Flame Demonic Pine and the Absolute Sword. Who's going to win? Many people stared at the battle stage, not even daring to blink. They were afraid they would miss a wonderful scene. Bang! On the battle stage, a huge figure was continuously retreating. Not good, it's the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine. He's retreating. The Qin Tian Starfield's people's expressions changed. Their hearts sank. However, the next moment, to their delight, Absolute Sword was sent flying out of the fighting ring like a cannonball. He landed below the fighting ring and staggered backward for a few hundred meters before regaining his balance. Then he spat out a mouthful of blood. He won. Many people were ecstatic. The Scarlet Flame Devil Pine was still standing on the battle stage, but Absolute Sword had already fallen off. Naturally, the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine had won. "The Scarlet Flame Devil Pine is also injured," said someone else. Everyone's joy vanished. Indeed, the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine was also injured. There was a deep sword wound on his chest. It was as if his body had been cut in half. Blood was flowing out unceasingly. Although the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine had defeated Absolute Sword, he had also been injured. The Qin Tian Starfield had only won a small victory. The situation was still very unfavorable for them. Chapter 2938. I've lost. Peerless Sword said coldly. With a flicker, he returned to the crowd of the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace and sat down with his legs crossed to heal his wounds. However, no one dared to underestimate Peerless Sword. Peerless Sword had defeated Sword Dao Wuji and Emoji Yi at the beginning, exhausting a great amount of his divine force. However, he was still able to fight the 7th layer Heaven God Realm Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine until both of them were injured. His strength was truly terrifying. If Peerless Sword was at his peak, he might not necessarily lose to the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine. As such, the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace still had 5 people left. The Qin Tian Starfield still had 7 people. Although they still had the advantage in terms of numbers, the people of the Qin Tian Starfield were not confident at all. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine did not speak. He was taking the opportunity to heal his wounds, hoping to recover more of his strength. 7th layer Heaven God Realm with the ancient god flesh. Your strength is not bad among the 7th layer Heaven gods. The golden-robed young man from the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace spoke once again. He slowly walked forward and landed on the fighting ring. Jin Xing is going to make his move. Jin Xing is finally going to make his move. Well, with him around, the battle will come to an end, saving me the trouble. Let's just enjoy the show. The remaining young men of the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace burst out laughing with a relaxed look, as if they were sure to win the battle. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine looked at the golden-robed young man with a stern look. The golden-robed young man had been representing the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace since the beginning. It was obvious that his talent was quite outstanding. You should take the time to recover, I'll give you a chance. Jin Xing said calmly. He stood still and allowed the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine to recover with a confident look. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine did not show any mercy. He took out a few pills to recover his divine force and consumed them. He then executed a technique to recover his strength. The wound on his chest began to wriggle at a speed visible to the naked eye. It was recovering rapidly. Half an hour later, the wound on the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's chest had completely disappeared. He had also recovered to his peak. Bring it on, even though you're giving me time to recover, I won't go easy on you. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine stared at Jin Xing with a strong battle intent. However, Jin Xing shook his head and said, "You alone are no match for me. You should also attack together." Jin Xing's last sentence was directed at the Ice Immortal. What? He's challenging the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine and the Ice Immortal at the same time? Could it be that his cultivation has already reached the 8th layer Heaven God Realm? Someone was shocked. No, I've observed him. His cultivation is at the 6th layer Heaven God Realm. In the Qin Heavenly Star region, a white-haired God King said. What? He's only at the 6th level of the Celestial God Realm, yet he's so confident to challenge the Ice Immortal and the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine at the same time? Where did he get his confidence from? That's right, the Absolute Sword is strong enough, but at his peak, he is at most comparable to the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine. In the Qin Tian Star field, many people roared in disbelief. A 6th-level heavenly god actually challenged the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine and the Ice Immortal at the same time. The Ice Immortal and the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine were equally famous. The two of them had fought many times in the past, and it was hard to determine the victor. The Scarlet Flame Devil Pine had broken through to the 7th level of the Heavenly God Realm, so the Ice Immortal should be at the same level. Moreover, they were all divine sons, peerless geniuses. Where did Jin Xing get his confidence from? You really want to challenge the two of us? This doesn't conform to the rules. If we win, the Ice Immortal Dao. If you can win, then it's your victory. Before the Ice Immortal could speak, Jin Xing said indifferently. All right. The Ice Immortal directly agreed. Since the other party was so confident, how could he not agree? Taking a step forward, the Ice Immortal also appeared on the battle stage, standing side by side with the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine. The Ice Immortal and the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine, one cold and one hot, formed a terrifying wave that surged towards Jin Xing. Bang. Jin Xing took a step forward and unleashed all of his aura. 6th layer Heaven God Realm. His cultivation was indeed at the 6th layer Heaven God Realm. Golden divine power covered his entire body, instantly defeating the Ice Immortal and the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's aura. Ice Immortal, you go left, I'll go right. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine transmitted to the Ice Immortal, then charged towards Jin Xing's right. At the same time, the Ice Immortal charged towards Jin Xing's left. While charging, the Ice Immortal's body rapidly enlarged, turning into an ancient god body. Once the Ice Immortal made his move, everyone knew his cultivation was at the 7th layer Heaven God Realm. Falling Star. Rapid Ice Sword. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine and the Ice Immortal used their trump cards at the same time, attacking Jin Xing. Since Jin Xing was so confident, he definitely had terrifying strength. They didn't think Jin Xing was just showing off. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine and the Ice Immortal were mortal enemies. They had fought each other countless times, so they understood each other the best. Their cooperation was flawless. The two attacks wanted to drown Jin Xing. Jin Xing, who was the size of a normal person, was like an ant in front of the 200-meter-tall ancient god bodies. However, Jin Xing's expression was calm in the face of their pincer attack. "Void-breaking hand," muttered Jin Xing. His two palms turned golden as if they were made of gold. Then he sent a palm at the Ice Immortal and the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine. Boom! Boom! Jin Xing's golden palm collided with the Ice Immortal and the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's attacks. Then the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's meteor directly exploded. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's body shook violently, and he was forced back. At the same time, the Ice Immortal's attack also exploded, and he was forced back. This scene was extremely shocking and impactful. It was like two elephants had been forced back by an ant. How is this possible? Many people found it hard to believe. The Ice Immortal and the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine were 7th-level heavenly gods, divine sons. Moreover, they had used a secret technique like the ancient god bodies, but they were still no match for Jin Xing. What terrifying power! Lu Ming's gaze fell on Jin Xing's two golden palms. Just now, Lu Ming had sensed a terrifying destructive power erupting from Jin Xing's palms. It had defeated the Ice Immortal and the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's attacks. "Void-breaking hand?" muttered Lu Ming. This was a terrifying secret technique. "Get down!" shouted Jin Xing after forcing the Ice Immortal and the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine back. He took a step forward and charged at the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine, sending a palm at the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine. A golden palm formed. It was incomparably huge, even bigger than the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's ancient god body. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine roared, and his two fists continuously punched out. His lava-like fists continuously bombarded the golden palm. However, the golden palm's power was shocking. As it crushed down, the lava-like fists kept exploding. Chapter 29-39. On the other side, Bing Xian also attacked Jin Xing when he was attacking the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine. However, Jin Xing waved his hand and a golden sword flew out, blocking Bing Xian's attack. No matter how Bing Xian attacked, the golden sword was able to stop him. Jin Xing was attacking the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine with all his strength. The golden palm pressed down, forcing the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine to retreat. Jin Xing's strength was truly shocking. They were both at the 6th level of the heavenly god realm, but he was stronger than Zhu Jian. No wonder he dared to challenge the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine and Bing Xian at the same time. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine roared and used all his strength, but unfortunately he was still no match for Jin Xing Shua. Jin Xing quickly approached the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine, and his golden palm slashed down again. The terrifying power caused the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's pupils to shrink. He roared and punched out twice with his fists wrapped in magma. However, the moment his fist collided with Jin Xing's palm, his fist exploded. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine screamed and retreated. "Get lost!" Jin Xing was like a golden ray of light, and his palm slammed into the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's chest. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine screamed again. His ancient god body's defensive power couldn't stop Jin Xing's attack. A large hole appeared in his chest, and he flew out of the stage. When he flew out of the stage, the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's body returned to its normal size, and he heavily fell off the stage, coughing up blood. Everyone saw that a large hole had appeared in the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's chest. His flesh had already disappeared. It was a tragic sight. The Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine quickly took out a healing divine pill and ate it. As a result, only Bing Xian was left on the battle stage. Shua. After defeating the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine, Jin Xing turned around and attacked Bing Xian. Bing Xian's expression changed, and he retreated, not daring to face Jin Xing head-on. Ice Seal. Bing Xian sent out several palms, and the stage turned into a world of ice. He planned to use the moving method to fight Jin Xing, and then find an opportunity to see if he could win. "You want to use this method to fight me? How foolish!" "Void-shattering palm!" shouted Jin Xing. He was surrounded by dazzling golden light. In the sky, a gigantic golden palm was formed, covering the entire battle stage and pressing down. As such, no matter what, the Ice Immortal would be enveloped by the palm imprint. No matter what, she would have to clash head-on with her opponent. The Ice Immortal had no choice but to use her full strength to block the palm attack. Facing Jin Xing alone, he was even less of a match for him. In the end, his result was the same as the Scarlet Flame demonic pine tree. He was sent flying out of the battle platform, heavily injured. Jin Xing defeated the Ice Immortal and the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine by himself. In the Qin Tian Star Field, many people were pale. B defeated the Qin Tian Star Field was defeated. The Ice Immortal, the Red Flame Devil Pine, the Sword Dao Wuji, Emoji, Song Yen, and Pejuan were defeated one after another. There was no longer any suspense in this battle. It seemed that the time that he wanted to fight for was no longer possible. Sai, only 10 years? If we can't find the treasures of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion in 10 years, then when the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion's army arrives, all the powers of the Qin Tian Starfield will be exterminated. Who is it that stole the treasures of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion? Many people were roaring in their hearts. In their opinion, this battle had already ended with the defeat of the Ice Immortal and the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine Tree. Although the Qin Tian Starfield has a few heavenly geniuses, they are still unable to withstand a single blow. Therefore, you only have 10 years. If you can't hand over the treasures after 10 years, then wait to be exterminated. Jin Xing said coldly. The battle hasn't ended yet. It's still too early for you to come to a conclusion. At this moment, a voice sounded. The person who spoke was naturally Lu Ming. Many people looked at Lu Ming. Could it be that he still wants to go up and compete? Although we still have 5 people left, the Ice Immortal and the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine Tree have both been defeated. What's the use of the remaining 5 people going up? The outcome is already decided. Many people shook their heads and sighed. Young man, forget it. Let's admit defeat in this battle. There's no need to humiliate ourselves. An old man advised Lu Ming. He had good intentions. In this competition, there was no rule that stated that one could not kill. If the difference in strength was too great, it would be a shame if one was killed by a palm strike. Junior is unwilling to accept the fact that we haven't fought. Lu Ming smiled and walked towards the battle platform. He landed on the platform and faced Jin Xing. You want to fight me? Jin Xing was also taken aback. His eyes flickered with golden light as he clearly saw Lu Ming's cultivation base. 3rd level Celestial Goda, 3rd level Heavenly God actually wanted to fight with him? What a joke! Even 7th level Celestial God prodigies like Bing Xian and Scarlet Flame Devil Pine were no match for him. What could a 3rd level Celestial God do? Even if the godly power he controlled was divine-grade godly power, he could crush it with a single finger. 10 years is too short. We won't be able to find the treasure you want. So, we can only fight for 1,000 years. Lu Ming smiled. However, if we were to risk it, we might end up paying with our lives. Jin Xing said. Of course I know, but I'm afraid you're still a little lacking if you want to take my life. Lu Ming smiled faintly, looking confident. This made many people in Qin Tian Star Field curl their lips. This Lu Ming was too confident. With Jin Xing's terrifying strength, it was still a little lacking to take his life. Jin Xing would probably be smashed to pieces in a single move. This brat waited until now to fight with Jin Xing. He's really courting death. Qin Wuyo mocked from the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace's side. He originally thought that Lu Ming would hide and not dare to fight. He did not expect to wait until now to come out and fight. In his opinion, it was not a coward, but a fool. Lu Ming. Ouyang Qingxiang, Yu Linglong and the others clenched their fists tightly. Although they knew that Lu Ming was very strong, the strength that Jin Xing had just displayed was too terrifying. Could Lu Ming really fight with Jin Xing? They were not confident in their hearts. Young Master will definitely win. Only Autumn Moon was completely confident in Lu Ming. She had watched Lu Ming's rise. Along the way, Lu Ming had created too many miracles. She always believed that Lu Ming would not lose. Is that so? You're very confident. I hope you have the capital to be confident. Jin Xing sneered. Golden light spread out from his body as he prepared to attack. Wait. At this moment, Lu Ming shouted. Jin Xing, who was about to step forward, stopped in his tracks. He almost could not catch his breath. What is this brat doing? Many people looked at each other. What are you doing? Jin Xing clenched his teeth and asked. I still don't want to fight with you right now. What's your name again? That's right, Qin Wuyo, that Qin Wuyo. Didn't you always want to fight with me? Come, I'll give you a chance to fight. Lu Ming looked at Qin Wuyo. Chapter 2940. What? He wants to challenge Qin Wuyo? Many people were stunned. They couldn't figure out Lu Ming's plan at all. Even Qin Wuyo himself had a dumbfounded expression. He had already been defeated before. He had never imagined that Lu Ming would challenge him now. Are you sure you want to challenge Qin Wuyo first? Qin Wuyo has already been defeated. If you really want to challenge him, don't say that we broke the rules. Jin Xing said. Don't worry, it won't take much effort to deal with him. Lu Ming said loudly. Many people looked at him with disdain. He really didn't know how to brag. Qin Wuyo was also a divine son. His strength was about the same as Zhang Yan and Pajun's. Lu Ming actually said it wouldn't take much effort to deal with him. Who did he think he was? Jin Xing? What is this Lu Ming doing? Emoji, Jian Dao Wuji, and the others were also confused. They didn't know what Lu Ming wanted to do. Emoji had fought with Lu Ming 200 years ago. He knew Lu Ming's strength. Lu Ming was at most a bit stronger than him. It was possible for him to defeat Qin Wuyo, but they didn't believe it would take much effort. I accept this battle. Qin Wuyo shouted. His figure flashed, and he appeared on the stage. He had been thinking of killing Lu Ming. Now that Lu Ming was courting death, how could he miss this opportunity? All right, then I'll leave him to you. Jin Xing nodded and retreated to the side. From his point of view, Lu Ming was only at the 3rd level of the heavenly god realm. Qin Wuyo was enough. You should have more or less recovered. I'll let you attack first. In the future, you won't have a chance to attack. Lu Ming shouted. But in the eyes of others, he was just showing off. Since you're in a hurry to die, I'll fulfill your wish. 7 injuries divine fist, kill. Qin Wuyo made his move. His first move was the 7 injuries divine fist. Actually, he didn't dare to underestimate Lu Ming. After all, Qin Wushang and the others had been ruthlessly beaten up by Lu Ming at the Kongxian school. One had to know that the strength of Qin Wushang and the others wasn't considered low. Therefore, Qin Wuyo immediately used his ultimate move to kill Lu Ming. Boom Lu Ming also made his move, but Lu Ming did not activate the battle character's secret art to multiply his combat strength, nor did he transform into his ancient god body. 10 divine fires burned fiercely in his body, and a tremendous amount of god power surged. Ice chains. Lu Ming's heart stirred, and 9 ice chains rushed out from his body. Shu 9 ice chains, like 9 long snakes, rushed towards Qin Wuyo. With Lu Ming's current cultivation, the ice chains he used were shockingly powerful. In particular, the 9th chain had refined a ball of special icy cold liquid. As Lu Ming's cultivation level increased, the power of the ball of liquid became more and more stimulated. Wherever the 9 ice chains passed, the temperature in the air would rapidly drop, and ice crystals would appear. Break for me! Qin Wuyo loudly shouted, wanting to break the ice chains. But when his fist energy collided with the ice chains, his expression wildly changed. He felt an extremely cold chill spread towards him, and he felt as if all the blood in his body was about to be frozen. He roared, and used his own strength to injure himself to increase the power of the 7 injuries divine fist. Boom! After injuring himself, the power of the 7 injuries divine fist had indeed increased by a level. His fist energy flourished, and among the 9 ice chains, 8 of them violently trembled and then collapsed. But the 9th ice chain was incomparably tough. It directly broke through his fist energy and wrapped around Qin Wuyo. At the same time, the ice chain's cold intent crazily surged out, sealing Qin Wuyo in ice. Qin Wuyo's body stiffened in midair. Bang Lu Ming controlled the ice shackles, swinging it up and smashing it heavily on the fighting ring. The fighting ring shook violently. Qin Huio screamed miserably after being smashed. Dozens of bones were broken all over his body. He spat out mouthfuls of blood like a dead fish. The entire crowd was deathly silent. They were all dumbfounded. Many people thought they were dreaming or that their eyes were playing tricks on them. A person at the level of a divine son, a genius who had been severely injured in the battle with Blue Flame's destroyer army previously, was defeated by Lu Ming in one move. This was simply like a dream. Bang! Just as everyone was in a daze, Lu Ming lifted Qin Huio up again and smashed him heavily on the fighting ring. Qin Huio let out a shrill scream. This time, he was even more seriously injured. He was like a pile of mud, rolling his eyes and vomiting large mouthfuls of blood. Everyone was finally roused from their stupor, and then they burst into an uproar. He won. Lu Ming actually won. Amazing! This Qin Wuxiang's strength isn't any weaker than Song Yan and Jun Pe, but he was defeated in one move. This is too exaggerated. I never thought that the Kongxian school would have such a powerful genius. I've never heard of him before. The Qin Tian Starfield's people were both astonished and excited. They had already given up all hope, but now they couldn't help feeling a tiny bit of hope. Of course, it was only a tiny bit. After all, Jin Xing was too strong. Amongst them, the most shocked were Mo Jui, Jian Dao Wuji, Song Yan, and Jun Pe. 200 years ago, Mo Jui had fought with Lu Ming. At that time, Lu Ming's strength was only slightly stronger than Mo Jui's. They were on the same level. But now, Qin Huio, who had fought with Song Yan and Jun Pe, had been defeated by Lu Ming in one move. Didn't this mean that Lu Ming's strength was far above theirs? Third level Heavenly God, his cultivation base has broken through to the third level. How could he break through 2 levels in just 200 years? Mo Jui roared inwardly. 200 years ago, he clearly knew that Lu Ming's cultivation base was only at the first level of the Heavenly God realm. In the Heavenly God realm, breaking through one level required a very long time. Even if they were peerless geniuses, it wouldn't be a short amount of time. 200 years was truly too short. Unless he had a huge fortuitous encounter. He must have had a fortuitous encounter in these years. Damn it. Mo Jui and Jian Dao Wuji roared inwardly. They were so jealous that they wanted to die. I've lost, let me down. At this moment, Qin Huio roared. Letting you down just because you've lost? You're too naive. Lu Ming said indifferently. He looked at Bing Xian and said, this guy killed one of your people. Today, I'll take his life in exchange for yours. Hearing this, Qin Huio was scared out of his wits. He frantically struggled, but he was sealed by the ice chains. There was no way he could struggle. He could only yell crazily, no, you can't kill me, you can't save me. Stop. On the other side, Jin Xing also yelled and charged at Lu Ming, trying to save Qin Huio. However, Lu Ming would not give him the chance. A powerful force rushed through the ice chains and into Qin Huio's body. Qin Huio let out an unwilling cry as his body was torn apart, dying on the spot. Chapter 2941. Everyone was stunned. They hadn't thought that Lu Ming would really dare to kill Qin Huio. No matter how arrogant Qin Huio was, he was still a heavenly genius of the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace. His decisiveness was truly shocking. Lu Ming, you dare kill a heavenly genius of my Qin family? You're courting death, roared a heavenly genius of the Qin family, glaring at Lu Ming. But Lu Ming directly ignored him and looked at Bing Xian. A life for a life. I'll help you take back the life of that brother from the Ice Soul race. Many thanks. Bing Xian cupped her fists. To tell the truth, she also wanted to kill Qin Huio, but she didn't have the chance. Boom. At this moment, the stage shook. Jin Xing landed on the stage, his body erupting with resplendent golden light. His long hair fluttered in the wind, and his eyes were cold as he stared at Lu Ming. Lu Ming, right? Very good, your strength has exceeded my expectations. Now, I'll be your opponent. Wait! Shouted Lu Ming. Jin Xing was so depressed that he wanted to vomit blood. He gloomily stared at Lu Ming. What do you want now? Nothing. I just feel like you're not my opponent. Call a few more people to come at me together, said Lu Ming. What? Everyone's eyes widened. They thought they had misheard. Lu Ming actually said Jin Xing wasn't his opponent and wanted to call a few more people to come at him together? Arrogant, arrogant. Jin Xing had called Bing Xian and the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine together. That was already arrogant enough. But now, Lu Ming was even more arrogant. The power Jin Xing had just displayed was extremely terrifying. But now, Lu Ming actually said Jin Xing wasn't strong enough. Although Lu Ming had easily defeated Qin Wuyo, Jin Xing wasn't someone Qin Wuyo could compare to. Although their cultivation bases were the same, Jin Xing could probably defeat Qin Wuyo in one move. Arrogant. Why would I need others to deal with you? Let me see what kind of ability you have, shouted Jin Xing. His golden light became even more dazzling. Thump thump. Jin Xing took a few steps forward and arrived in front of Lu Ming. A golden palm chopped down at Lu Ming. Before the palm arrived, the terrifying force had already surged towards Lu Ming, erupting with a terrifying cutting power. If it was an ordinary third-level heavenly god, they would probably be torn apart by this terrifying force. However, Lu Ming was not an ordinary third-level celestial deity. His battle strength was many times stronger than an ordinary third-layer heaven god. At that instant, the 10 god flames in his body surged fiercely. 10 streams of powerful god force gathered together and sprang forward. At the same time, Lu Ming activated the battle character's secret art to quadruple his combat strength. His combat strength skyrocketed. Lu Ming activated the Divine Dragon aspect art and punched out. Surging divine power surged towards Lu Ming's palm. Roar! A dragon's roar shook the 9 heavens as a 9-clawed dragon flew out from Lu Ming's fist. Its 9 claws grabbed at Jin Xing and collided with his golden palm. Bang bang bang. 9 consecutive explosions took place. Strong gusts of wind swept in all directions from the point of collision. Hand of the void, shatter everything, die. Jin Xing snapped coldly. His palm glowed even brighter. The 9-clawed dragon aspect shuddered violently before it exploded. Jin Xing's hair drifted wildly as he roared, "So this is what makes you so arrogant? How disappointing. You lose." Saying this, Jin Xing threw another palm at Lu Ming. "Let's do this then," Lu Ming said calmly as he threw a few punches forward. Roar roar. A series of dragon roars took place. Every time Lu Ming threw a punch, a 9-clawed dragon would fly out. 6 9-clawed dragons flew toward Jin Xing and attacked him fiercely. Jin Xing's expression changed slightly. He had only used one of his palms before, but now he was using the second one. 2 golden palms flew forward and struck at the 9-clawed dragon aspect. Jin Xing's hand of the void seemed ordinary. There was no rare phenomenon when he attacked, but its power was indeed shocking. It was said to be able to sever the void. Each time it collided with the 9-clawed dragon aspect, the 9-clawed dragon aspect would tremble violently. The two exchanged a few hundred blows in an intense battle. The surrounding people were already stunned. They never thought that Lu Ming would be able to fight against Jin Xing. Many people had thought that Lu Ming was just bragging, but now it seemed that Lu Ming was really capable, even if he was bragging a little by challenging so many people at the same time. This guy is so strong. At this moment, the geniuses of the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace and the seniors were astounded. A third-layer heaven god is able to resist Jin Xing's hand of the void. Even the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace has never seen such a genius before. An old man exclaimed. It was too terrifying for a third-layer heaven god to fight against Jin Xing. Jin Xing was also a peerless genius. Although he was only a 6th-layer heaven god, he could easily slay an ordinary 9th-layer heaven god. However, it was unheard of for a 3rd-layer heavenly god to possess such powerful combat strength. I'm afraid such a genius would only appear in the core of the sacred dynasty. Another old man in the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace exclaimed. It was beyond their expectation that such a genius would appear in the tiny Qintian star field. Icy chains. At this moment, Lu Ming used the ice chains. 9 chains wrapped around Jin Xing, exuding a shocking chill. Void-shattering sword, Jin Xing said coldly. His forehead emitted a golden glow as a golden battle sword flew out. The golden battle sword slashed down and cut 2 ice chains in half. Then, with another slash, a few more ice chains were cut in half. In the end, only the 9th icy chain stood a chance against Jin Xing. Very good, Lu Ming. I didn't expect that you would be able to force me to this extent. It's your honor to be able to see my ultimate move next. Ancient shattering, Jin Xing roared. The golden battle sword flew toward Jin Xing and was grabbed by him. However, Jin Xing was not planning to attack with the battle sword. The battle sword melted in Jin Xing's hand like a puddle of golden liquid, merging with Jin Xing's palm. Jin Xing clasped his hands and slashed down. Rip! A terrifying golden ray burst out and slashed at Lu Ming. Lu Ming's eyes glittered. With a thought, 6 9-clawed dragon images lunged at Jin Xing. However, the golden ray was truly terrifying. When the first 9-clawed dragon image collided with the golden ray, its claw crumbled, followed by its body, which was split in half. Then the second and the third. Chapter 2942. Wherever the golden light from Jin Xing's slash passed, the 9-clawed divine dragon dharma forms crumbled one after another. Ran we? W? 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 Ina? In an instant, the 6 divine dragon avatars all exploded. Even the 9th ice chain couldn't stop the golden light and was cut apart. The terrifying golden light directly slashed at Lu Ming. Its power was truly shocking. I originally didn't want to kill you, but you forced me to use this move. Even I can't control myself. Rest in peace. Jin Xing's gaze was cold as a thought flashed through his mind. The golden light shot straight at Lu Ming's face. Lu Ming retreated, but the golden light's speed was extremely fast. It chased closely behind Lu Ming. What's going to happen? The spectators' hearts were also in their mouths. Jin Xing's move was too terrifying. It had broken Lu Ming's attack in one move and forced Lu Ming to retreat. Would Lu Ming be defeated by this move, or even die under this move? Just as Lu Ming was about to be struck by the golden light, a roar rang out. Then, Lu Ming's body rapidly swelled, and a 100-meter-tall giant appeared on the stage. Moon severing. Lu Ming used his ancient god body, but Lu Ming didn't use his full strength. He only used his ancient god body to transform into a 100-meter-tall ancient god. The spear in his hand slashed out, and a crescent-shaped spear light slashed forward, colliding with the golden light. Boom! The 2 rays of light collided, causing a heaven-shaking explosion. The dazzling light was so dazzling that people couldn't open their eyes. The 2 rays of light constantly trembled, but then the golden light trembled even more violently, and with a bang it exploded. A figure retreated. It was Jin Xing. Jin Xing retreated several thousand meters, spitting out a mouthful of blood. His eyes were filled with disbelief. His strongest move had actually been broken. Instead, he had suffered heavy injuries. Ancient God Body, he has also cultivated the ancient God Body. The geniuses of the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace exclaimed. The people of the Qintian Star Field were ecstatic. Jin Xing, what other moves do you have? Use them or it won't be enough. Lu Ming shouted. He waved his spear, and another crescent-shaped spear light swept towards Jin Xing, void-breaking hand. Jin Xing hollered and continuously struck out his palms, trying to block Lu Ming's attack. However, after Lu Ming transformed into the ancient god body, coupled with the enhancement of 4 times his combat ability was already above Jin Xing's. He could not resist at all. Boom! Boom! Jin Xing's body shook violently. Every time they collided, he had to retreat 100 meters. Soon he arrived at the edge of the fighting ring. Let's end this. Lu Ming shouted coldly. He held the spear with both hands and slashed it down. The huge spear gleam was like a mountain, pressing toward Jin Xing. Jin Xing shouted, trying his best to block the attack. Although he was unwilling, he could not change the fact. When the spear light pressed down, he spat out a mouthful of blood and was sent flying out of the fighting ring. Jin Xing was defeated. The crowd was silent at first, but then they burst into cheers. He won, he won. Lu Ming defeated Jin Xing. That's amazing. There's hope, there's hope. Many people shouted, their eyes full of anticipation and excitement. Previously, many people had ignored Lu Ming and did not pay attention to Lu Ming. Most of them had placed their hopes on Bing Xian, Red Flame Demon Pine, Sword Dao Wuji, Mo Jiuyi, Song Yan, and Pajun. When they saw Bing Xian and Red Flame Demon Pine being defeated, they were in despair. They thought there was no suspense in this competition. They had not expected Lu Ming to suddenly appear and defeat Jin Xing. Jin Xing had defeated Bing Xian and Red Flame Demon Pine at the same time. In this way, they saw hope again. Perhaps Lu Ming could create a miracle and win all the way? Perhaps Jin Xing was the strongest person in the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Mansion? This guy, Mo Jiuyi, Sword Dao Wuji, and the others looked solemn. They knew that Lu Ming had not used his full strength yet. At least, Lu Ming's ancient god body was not only an orange-armored ancient god. He had not used his full strength yet, but he already had such combat strength. They had been left far behind. I told you to join in the fight, but you didn't listen. Now, who wants to fight? Lu Ming looked at the remaining 4 people from the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Mansion. There were 4 youths left in the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Mansion. At this moment, 3 of them looked gloomy. The 3 of them were in the 7th level Heavenly God realm. However, although their cultivation was higher than Jin Xing's, their combat strength was not higher than Jin Xing's. Jin Xing was a famous genius in the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Mansion. He could even fight against geniuses. They did not have such ability. If Jin Xing could not win, they could not win as well. Their gazes landed on the last ordinary-looking young man. Among the 4 of them, only this person looked calm. Let me fight this battle. The ordinary-looking youth hugged a battle saber and stepped forward. A terrifying aura spread from his body. His divine force was extremely strong. 8th level Heavenly God realm. Someone exclaimed. What? 8th level Heavenly God realm. Many people in the Qin Tian starfield exclaimed. This ordinary-looking youth with a battle saber had reached the 8th level Heavenly God realm. It was absolutely shocking to have such a cultivation among the younger generation. One should know that Bing Xian and Red Flame Demonic Pine had just broken through to the 7th level Heavenly God realm. This is troublesome. Many people secretly worried for Lu Ming. Although Jin Xing was strong, he was only in the 6th level Heavenly God realm. No matter how strong he would not be a match for a 8th level Heavenly God realm genius. Could Lu Ming defeat him? Buzz. The ordinary-looking youth took one step at a time in the sky. The battle saber in his arms vibrated slightly. Following it, a saber glow pierced through the rift and soared into the sky. He was a saber artist, someone who was as famous as sword cultivators. He was famous for his offensive strength. 8th level Heavenly God realm? Lu Ming's lips curled into a faint smile. Ever since this person revealed his cultivation level, Lu Ming finally had some confidence in his heart. Judging from the expressions of the remaining 4 people of the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace, Lu Ming could tell that this saber artist was the strongest among them. As long as he was not as crazy as Jin Xing, Lu Ming was confident that he could defeat an 8th level Heavenly God realm cultivator. I'm Wei Dao, I'll be your opponent. The ordinary-looking youth said. Wait, it's a waste of time to fight one by one. You should all come at once so that I can finish you all at once. Lu Ming said loudly, looking at the remaining 3 people of the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace. I alone am enough. Wei Dao said coldly. No, you can't do it alone. Lu Ming shook his head. Many people were speechless. What was Lu Ming doing? Could it be that he was full of confidence after defeating Jin Xing? Or was Lu Ming still holding back his strength? Many people's imaginations ran wild. P.S. Dear readers, I'm the shepherd boy Tingzhu. I recommend a free app that supports downloading, listening to books, 0 ads, and multiple reading modes. Chapter 2943. Wei Dao's expression darkened. His eyes flickered. When Xiao? Say? W? 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 He was not sure how strong Lu Ming was. Could it be that Lu Ming was still hiding his strength? However, Lu Ming was only a third-layer heaven god. The strength that he had displayed before was already shocking enough. Could it be that he was still capable of unleashing a stronger strength? Wei Dao, all of you attack together. We can't afford to lose the battle. A voice entered Wei Dao's ears. It was a god emperor from the 9 Extinction Heavenly Emperor Palace who was transmitting his voice to him. Wei Dao nodded silently while staring at Lu Ming. Since you're so confident, I'll grant your wish. Let's attack together. Wei Dao said coldly. Following the words, the remaining 3 young men stepped forward and stood beside Wei Dao. Their terrifying strength was unleashed. 7th-layer heaven gods, all of them were 7th-layer heaven gods. The people of the Qin Tian starfield inhaled deeply with stern looks. The 9 Extinction Heavenly Emperor Palace was too strong. They still had so many experts behind them. Even though the Qin Tian starfield had yet to make their move, they were not too strong. This time, even without Jin Xing, the Qin Tian starfield had no chance of winning the battle. There were still 3 7th-layer heaven gods and an 8th-layer heaven god realm genius behind them. How could they possibly win the battle? Right now, they could only pin all their hopes on Lu Ming. 3 7th-layer heaven gods and an 8th-layer heaven god. Very well, make your move. Lu Ming said confidently. I'll grant your wish. As soon as Lu Ming finished his act, Wei Dao made his move decisively. A snow-white saber glow slashed at Lu Ming. Without a doubt, the remaining 4 were all godsons with divine-grade god force. Meanwhile, the other 3 made their moves too, attacking Lu Ming. Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Among the 4 of them, any one of them was probably stronger than the Ice Immortal or the Scarlet Flame Devil Pine. Among the young men at the 7th level of the Heavenly God realm, 2 of them were probably as strong as Jin Xing coupled with the even more terrifying Wei Dao. It would be hard for anyone below the Divine King realm to fight against him. Many people held their breaths, wanting to know how Lu Ming would respond. Lu Ming let out another ancient god roar. His body expanded once again. This time, Lu Ming did not hold back. He used his full strength. A 200-meter-tall green-armored ancient god appeared on the fighting ring. Break space. Lu Ming continuously used the sky-piercing move. Streaks of spear lights shot towards Wei Dao's group of 4 like meteors. Boom, 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 boom. A series of explosions sounded out. Except for Wei Dao, the other 3 were forced to retreat, their faces unsightly. Green-armored ancient god. It's the green-armored ancient god. In the 9 Extinction Heavenly King's residence, a white-haired god king cried out in shock. The others in the 9 Extinction Heavenly King's residence also gasped in shock. It was beyond their expectations that someone in the Qin Tian star field could cultivate into a green-armored ancient god. The Taishu dynasty was vast and had occupied many star fields. What kind of geniuses did it not have? There were also many who had cultivated the ancient god body. However, most of them were low-level ancient gods. Those who could become green-armored ancient gods were few and far between, even in the history of ancient gods. He hasn't used his full strength yet. Jin Xing's face was extremely ugly. It's the green-armored ancient god. The eyes of Wei Dao and the other 3 young men were filled with astonishment. Let's attack together. I'll be the main attacker, you guys support me. Wei Dao shouted and launched another attack. The offensive power of a bladesman was truly startling. Furthermore, with the aid of some secret techniques, their shocking combat prowess was displayed to the fullest. Streaks of dazzling saber lights slashed towards Lu Ming. Let's deal with the strongest first. Lu Ming stared at Wei Dao and slashed out with his long spear. A crescent-shaped spear light slashed towards his opponent. At the same time, he activated the Divine Dragon Aspect skill. 6 9-clawed dragon aspects roared and pounced towards the other 3. Wei Dao was completely at a disadvantage in this collision. Although his combat strength was strong, Lu Ming was stronger. With Lu Ming's current cultivation, he could completely suppress a divine son of level 8 heavenly god realm if he used all his means. In particular, he had 2 divine-grade divine powers in his divine power. The inextinguishable sword force allowed Lu Ming's every move to be filled with the offensive power of a sword cultivator. Wei Dao was forced to retreat as he was completely defeated. "It's over. Get down." Lu Ming's huge figure quickly caught up with him. He held his spear with both hands and slashed down. Another crescent-shaped spear light slashed towards Wei Dao. Wei Dao tried his best to resist, but he was still sent flying. His protective saber aura was shattered and his body retreated to the edge of the battle stage. The other 3 wanted to help, but they were held back by the 6 divine dragon aspects. They were powerless. Boom! Lu Ming struck out with his spear again. This time, Wei Dao retreated and was sent flying out of the battle stage. His body trembled and blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. Defeated. Wei Dao was defeated and was sent flying out of the battle stage. Lost. A divine king from the 9 extinction heavenly king residence shook his head and sighed. With Wei Dao defeated, the remaining 3 were no match for Lu Ming. Their defeat was set. Sure enough, although the remaining 3 did not want to lose, their strength was far from Lu Ming's. They had no choice. The long spear swept out continuously and one by one, they were sent flying out of the battle stage. When the last youth from the 9 extinction heavenly king residence was sent flying out of the battle stage by Lu Ming, there was an earth-shattering cheer around the square. Countless people in the Qin star field were ecstatic and cheered loudly. This time, they had actually won. This was truly unexpected. After the Ice Immortal, Scarlet Flame Devil Pine, and the others had been defeated, many people had already despaired. They had never imagined that they would win in the end. It was truly a case of being at the end of the road. Every cloud has a silver lining. Lu Ming, Lu Ming, Lu Ming. Some people shouted Lu Ming's name, and then even more people joined in. Very quickly, the square was filled with cheers. They were all shouting Lu Ming's name. Lu Ming! Emoji and the limitless Sword Dao were looking at that godlike figure on the battle stage. Their expressions were extremely gloomy. They had enmity with Lu Ming. For Lu Ming to be this terrifying made them feel a trace of fear. Their gazes flickered. It was unknown what they were thinking. Other than that, many experts from the Mystic Academy and Invincible Kenzo had ugly expressions. Lu Ming was the holy son of the Kongxian school. When he matured in the future, he would be a great threat to the Mystic Academy and Invincible Kenzo. Lu Ming really is powerful. Ouyang Qingxiang, Yu Linglong, Wu Zifeng, and the others were all stunned. Of course, my young master is the most powerful. No one can compare to him. Autumn Moon looked worshipfully at Lu Ming. In her heart, Lu Ming was unrivaled. She smiled brilliantly, as if she had long since known that Lu Ming would win. P.S. Fellow readers, I am Shepherd Boy Tingzhu. I recommend a free app that supports downloading, listening to books, no ads, and many reading modes. Chapter 2944. I can't believe we lost. At this moment, some of the young men in the 9Ju Heavenly King Mansion were mumbling to themselves. Ran? Yin W? 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 Ranwen. Before the battle, they were full of confidence and thought that this was a competition without any suspense. It was impossible for them to lose. That was why they agreed to Lu Ming's condition of giving them a 1,000-year extension. Their purpose was to humiliate Lu Ming's group and put pressure on the Qin Starfield. They wanted to let the people of the Qin Starfield know that the 9Ju Heavenly King Mansion was not something they could go against. They wanted to scare the robbers and force them to hand over the treasures. At the beginning, the plot was similar to what they had imagined. When Jin Xing used his absolute sword, he crushed the sky prides of the Qin Starfield. However, they never expected that a dark horse would appear out of nowhere. Lu Ming, on the other hand, had displayed abilities that even they were amazed by. He had also defeated them, causing them to taste the consequences of defeat. At this moment, Lu Ming raised his hand and the crowd gradually quieted down. Lu Ming kept the ancient god tactics and his body began to shrink, turning into his human form. Now that you've lost, it's time for you to fulfill your promise, Lu Ming said loudly. The other people of the Qin Tian Starfield also looked at the people of the Nine-Ju Heavenly King Mansion. Jin Xing, Wei Dao, and the others' faces turned ugly. They wanted to deny it, but they were the ones who said it in public. As the sky prides of the Nine-Ju Heavenly King Mansion, it would be embarrassing for them to deny it. Therefore, they did not know how to answer. What? The Nine-Ju Heavenly King Mansion won't go back on their words, right? Lu Ming's voice sounded. He put the blame on the Nine-Ju Heavenly King Mansion, making it impossible for them to deny it. How can we go back on our words? All right, this old man agrees to give your Qin Tian Star Field 1,000 years. After 1,000 years, if you still can't hand over the Nine-Ju Divine Crystal, the army of my Nine-Ju Heavenly Palace will definitely come. A white-haired old man from the Nine-Ju Heavenly King Mansion said. His voice spread across the entire place. All right, it's a deal, Lu Ming said. Remember, you only have 1,000 years. Let's go. The white-haired old man said and left. Lu Ming's, one day, I will defeat you and avenge today's humiliation. Jin Xing's eyes fell on Lu Ming's was filled with battle intent. You won't have another chance in the future. Lu Ming responded, full of confidence. Let's wait and see. Jin Xing said King Mansion. Very soon, the people from the highest heavenly king residence had all retreated. The nine Jus was. They had one's Ju sex. Although it can sit be, it's have a Ju sex sect Ju heavenly king mansion s sex Jus Ju heavens. However, many major forces still felt a sense of urgency. 1,000 years had passed in the blink of an eye. Could they really find the treasures of the nine extinction heavenly king mansion? Let's go. Lu Ming came to Ouyang Qingxiang's side and left together. After a while, they returned to the Kongxian school. Soon, the news spread throughout Qin Tian Star Field. The nine Ju Heavenly King Mansion's people had left Qin Tian Star Field. However, the atmosphere in Qin Tian Star Field did not relax. Instead, it became more serious. The major forces in Qin Tian Star Field were suspicious of each other. They were guessing who stole the nine Ju Heavenly King Mansion's treasure. Who stole the nine Ju Heavenly King Mansion's treasure? Hand it over quickly. Are you trying to get everyone killed? Which force is so selfish? Despicable. More and more such voices were heard. This force was guessing that it was that force that stole the treasure. That force was guessing that it was that force that stole the treasure. The major forces in Qin Tian Star Field had conflicts with each other. At this time, the conflicts were triggered. Some of the forces even had some friction and there were signs of fighting. The Flaming Tribe and the Ice Soul Tribe were like fire and water. The Flaming Tribe said that it was the Ice Soul Tribe that stole the nine Ju Heavenly King Mansion's treasure. However, the Ice Soul Tribe was not to be outdone. They said that it was the Flaming Tribe that stole the treasure. The two major races were originally enemies. The conflict between them was extremely deep. As such, it completely ignited the flames of conflict between them. After a few months, the conflict between the two major races was finally triggered and a war broke out. Many God King experts were dispatched in this war. Both sides fought fiercely and both sides suffered losses. After that, it was a long tug-of-war. Both sides had invested a large number of troops in the border galaxies. Wars would break out from time to time. The atmosphere between the Qin Tian 13 sects was also extremely tense. As for those small forces, they were all in danger. Just like that, 10 years passed. The Qin Tian 13 sects barely maintained a balance. There were only some small conflicts occasionally. However, if this continued, a war would definitely break out as the 1,000 years approached. At that time, before the nine Ju Heavenly King Mansion's army arrived, the Qin Tian Star Field would be weakened because of the internal strife. On this day, Lu Ming received a message from the Ice Soul Tribe. The Ice Soul Tribe invited him for a gathering. Lu Ming was a little puzzled, but he did not refuse. He rushed to the Ice Soul Tribe alone. Brother Lu, long time no see. You're getting stronger and stronger. You've already left me far behind. The one who received Lu Ming was the Ice Soul Tribe's 9th young master, Bing Qing. Bing Qing laughed self-deprecatingly when he saw Lu Ming. When Lu Ming fought Jin Xing, Wei Dao, and the others, Bing Qing was in seclusion and did not see it. When he heard about it later, he was naturally shocked. "Brother Bing, you're too polite. May I know why you're looking for me this time?" Lu Ming asked. "I heard that it's about the 9-Ju Heavenly King Mansion's treasure." Bing Qing's face turned solemn. He whispered to Lu Ming through voice transmission as if he was afraid that others would hear him. "The 9-Ju Heavenly King Mansion's treasure? Is there news about it?" Lu Ming's eyes lit up. They seemed to have found some clues. "Lu Ming, my father is waiting for you. Come with me. My father will tell you." Bing Qing whispered. Lu Ming was curious. If the Ice Soul Tribe had found some clues, why would they ask him to come? What did this have to do with him? Lu Ming and Bing Qing came to a courtyard with curiosity. In the courtyard, there was a table. Only 2 people were sitting at the table. One of them was Bing Qing's father, the Ice Soul Tribe's patriarch. The other person was the Ice Soul Tribe's #1 prodigy, Bing Qing's 7th brother, Bing Xian. "Lu Ming, you're here." Seeing Lu Ming, the Ice Soul Tribe's patriarch, and Bing Xian smiled and stood up to welcome him. Junior Lu Ming greets Patriarch Bing. Lu Ming cupped his fists politely and greeted Bing Xian. "P.S. Readers, I'm the shepherd boy Tingzhu. I recommend a free app that supports downloading, listening to books, 0 ads, and multiple reading modes." Chapter 2945. "Oh Lu Ming, please have a seat." The leader of the Ice Spirit clan smiled and invited Lu Ming to take a seat. Ran? Yen W? 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 Lu Ming and Bing Qing sat down. "May I know why the patriarch is looking for Lu Ming?" Lu Ming did not beat around the bush and directly asked the question in his heart. "Lu Ming, I've called you here to talk about the theft of the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Mansion's treasure." The patriarch said. Lu Ming's expression changed slightly and he said, "Have you found some clues?" "I did find some clues, but I'm not sure yet." The patriarch said. He pondered for a while and then continued, "Lu Ming, you should know about the Dark Ice Tribe, right?" "Dark Ice Tribe? You mean the tribe that betrayed the Ice Spirit Tribe?" Lu Ming's expression changed. He still remembered that when he was assigned a mission by his sect to help the Ice Soul clan go to their ancestral land to retrieve the Ice Jade Heart, he had encountered a genius of the Dark Ice race in the Ice Soul clan's ancestral land. They had fought over the Ice Jade Heart. Could it be related to the Dark Ice Tribe? "I think the Dark Ice Tribe is responsible for the theft of the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Mansion's treasure. The Dark Ice Tribe has been declining over the years, and the 9 Extinction Divine Crystal can help them rise again. They can even defeat us and return to the peak of the Qin Tian Star area," the patriarch said. "Patriarch Bing, is this just your speculation or do you have any evidence?" Lu Ming took a sip of tea and asked calmly. He would not believe the patriarch's words so easily. The Ice Spirit Tribe and the Dark Ice Tribe had a deep hatred and both wanted to destroy each other. If the Ice Spirit Tribe wanted to frame the Dark Ice Tribe, it was possible that they could destroy the other party. Hearing Lu Ming's question, the patriarch of the Ice Spirit clan smiled faintly. He had lived for countless years, so he naturally knew what Lu Ming was thinking. "Lu Ming, you may think that I will frame the Dark Ice race, but this concerns the survival of the Qin Tian Star area and the survival of our race. I will not play around. There are many opportunities to deal with the Dark Ice race. Why would I choose this time?" The patriarch of the Ice Soul clan smiled and continued. "In the past, the Dark Ice clan was very active and often had conflicts with our clan. However, during this period the Dark Ice clan has holed up and kept all of its clansmen away. It's very suspicious that they haven't done anything. I suspect that they've obtained a treasure and are secretly accumulating strength, waiting for the day they erupt." Clan leader Bing, even if the Dark Ice clan did it, how could the Dark Ice clan steal the treasure with the defense of the 9-Ju Heavenly King Mansion? Lu Ming asked again. If the Dark Ice clan was so powerful to steal the treasure from the 9-Ju Heavenly King Mansion, they would have destroyed the Ice Spirit clan and unified the Qin Tian Star area. This is the key to the problem. I suspect that there's a traitor in the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion who colluded with outsiders. Otherwise, it's very difficult for outsiders to steal the treasure from the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion. The patriarch of the Ice Spirit clan lowered his voice and said. Lu Ming's expression changed slightly. To be honest, Lu Ming had thought of this before. The Ninju Heavenly King Mansion was one of the 27 Heavenly King Mansions in the Taishu dynasty. Not to mention the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion's cultivation, even the guards of the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion were extremely terrifying and unfathomable. It was almost impossible for outsiders to steal the treasure from the heavily guarded Ninju Heavenly King Mansion without anyone noticing. There was only one reason. There was a traitor in the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion who colluded with outsiders to steal the treasure without anyone noticing. However, which force in the Qin Tian Star area would collude with the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion? To be honest, in the Qin Tian Star area, whether it's the Ice Spirit clan, the Flaming clan, or the Qin Tian 13 sects, were not worth mentioning in the eyes of the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion. We're not qualified to make friends with the major forces and families in the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion. However, the Dark Ice clan is an exception. After the Dark Ice clan was defeated, they left the Qin Tian Star area and wandered to other places. After a long time, they returned to the Qin Tian Star area. Therefore, the Dark Ice clan is most likely to make friends with the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion. Moreover, our clan has been secretly sending people to keep an eye on the Dark Ice clan. Previously, the Dark Ice clan was very active and often sent people out of the Qin Tian Star area to the territory where the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion is located. This is the most suspicious point. The patriarch of the Ice Spirit clan explained. I see. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. After listening to the patriarch of the Ice Spirit clan, he really felt that the Dark Ice clan was the most suspicious. If it's really the Dark Ice clan, why would the experts of the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion collude with the Dark Ice clan to steal the treasures of the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion? What benefits would it bring to those people? Lu Ming asked. He still had a lot of doubts. I'm not sure about this. I'm also confused. On the surface, it doesn't seem to bring any benefits to the people of the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion. However, I reckon that the other party must have a purpose for doing so. The patriarch of the Ice Spirit clan frowned. However, this is just my speculation. There's no evidence. If I say it out loud, it won't be convincing. The people of the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion won't believe me. The patriarch of the Ice Spirit clan sighed. Ice Spirit clan's patriarch, what does this have to do with you inviting me here? Lu Ming asked again. Even if the Ice Spirit clan's patriarch's speculation was true, what did it have to do with him? What help could he provide? First, we need to find evidence that the Dark Ice clan stole the treasures. However, it's almost impossible to find evidence in the Qin Tian Star field. We can only find evidence in the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion. The patriarch of the Ice Spirit clan said. Ice Spirit clan's patriarch, you want me to go to the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion to find evidence? Lu Ming's eyes flashed as he asked. That's right. The patriarch of the Ice Spirit clan nodded and said, we've planted spies in the Dark Ice clan. However, the Dark Ice clan has also planted spies in our clan. As long as we send people to the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion, they'll immediately be alerted and will alert the enemy. Moreover, it's not suitable for those with high cultivation to go to the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion. They'll also alert the Dark Ice clan. Only those of the younger generation who head to the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Mansion with the excuse of training themselves and finding other geniuses to spar with them will not alert the others. That's because this kind of thing happens in every era. Lu Ming understood. The patriarch of the Ice Spirit clan wanted Lu Ming to go to the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion to investigate the theft of the treasures in the Ninju Heavenly King Mansion and find evidence that the Dark Ice clan stole the treasures. Alright, I'll go. Lu Ming nodded and agreed. The patriarch of the Ice Spirit clan was stunned. Apparently, he did not expect Lu Ming to agree so readily. He had invited Lu Ming to come here just to make the suggestion. As for whether Lu Ming would agree or not, he would not force him. Unexpectedly, Lu Ming agreed without the slightest hesitation. P.S. Readers, I'm the shepherd boy Tingzhu. I recommend a free app that supports downloading, listening to books, zero ads, and multiple reading modes. Chapter 2946. The patriarch of the Ice Soul clan naturally did not know that Lu Ming had already planned to go to the 9-extinction Heavenly King mansion. Because of Jianghu, Lu Ming was bound to go to the Taishu dynasty, and the 9-extinction Heavenly King mansion was the only way to go to the Taishu dynasty. Lu Ming originally planned to go to the Taishu dynasty when his cultivation was higher. However, there were benefits to going to the 9-extinction Heavenly King mansion in advance. At least, he could learn more about the situation in the Taishu dynasty. There's no time to lose. I'll set off in a few days. Lu Ming pondered for a moment and then said, Lu Ming, you'd better go to the demon capital mountain first before going to the 9-extinction Heavenly King mansion. The patriarch of the Ice Soul clan said, Demon capital mountain? Lu Ming was puzzled. Yes, demon capital mountain. The patriarch of the Ice Soul clan nodded and said, To the west of the Qin Tian star field is a star field close to the Qin Tian star field called the Chu Tian star field. The demon capital mountain is in the Chu Tian star field. In the past, when the people of the Dark Ice tribe left the Qin Tian star field, they often went to the demon capital mountain. I suspect that the demon capital mountain is the place where the Dark Ice tribe and the 9-extinction Heavenly King mansion met. Therefore, we might be able to find some clues in the demon capital mountain. Very few people know about this. The patriarch of the Ice Soul clan said, All right, I'll go to the demon capital mountain first. Lu Ming nodded. After chatting for a while, Lu Ming got up and left. Before leaving, the patriarch of the Ice Soul clan gave Lu Ming a starry sky map of the 9-extinction Heavenly King mansion. However, the 9-extinction Heavenly King mansion occupied a large territory and the starry sky map only gave a rough location. There were many small places that were not clearly marked. Therefore, Lu Ming thought of Wu Zifeng. Wu Zifeng was from the Wu clan of the 9-extinction Heavenly King mansion. He would need help to go to the 9-extinction Heavenly King mansion. Coincidentally, Wu Zifeng was at Kongxian School during this period of time. Not long after, Lu Ming returned to Kongxian School and found Wu Zifeng. He explained the purpose of his visit, and Wu Zifeng immediately agreed. Yu Linglong knew about it and wanted to join them. In the end, Lu Ming brought Autumn Moon, Wu Zifeng, and Yu Linglong out of Kongxian School quietly without alerting anyone. If they wanted to leave the Qin Tian star field, they would have to take the Interstellar Field Teleportation Array. The Interstellar Domain Teleportation Array of the Qin Tian star field was located on the Myriad Spirit Star. The four of them arrived at the Myriad Spirit Star. After paying an exorbitant fee, they stepped onto the teleportation array to the Chu Tian star domain. Lu Ming felt as if he was shuttling through the void. It was as if he was moving through a void passage. Looking at the lights and shadows that constantly passed by him, Lu Ming knew that he was moving forward at an astonishing speed. However, the distance between the two star fields was too far. Even if they took the teleportation array, the teleportation process was very long. This process lasted for half a month. The surroundings trembled and a ray of light pierced through. Lu Ming knew that they had arrived at the Chu Tian star domain. Lu Ming was secretly amazed. It took half a month to travel by teleportation array. One could imagine how long this distance was. If one relied on flying, who knew how long it would take? Even a godly monarch would find it difficult to cross such a long distance without tens of thousands of years. The distance between two star fields was often many times greater than the territory of the star field itself. This is the Mandala galaxy of the Chu Tian star domain, which is closest to the Qin Tian star domain. Emodu Mountain is on the other side. Let's go. Wu Zifeng was rather familiar with the Chu Tian star domain. He led Lu Ming and company and continued to take the teleportation array towards Emodu Mountain. Emodu Mountain was really a mountain. It was a huge mountain that floated in the cosmos. Like the Mountain of Desolation, it was extremely huge, bigger than many planets. In the vast cosmos, There were all sorts of strange things. Not all of them were planets. Some divine mountains that were even bigger than planets floated in the sky. There were even some continents that floated in the cosmos, forming their own worlds. Even more miraculous was that there was an extremely huge ancient city that floated in the cosmos. There were even huge ancient trees and massive desolate beast corpses that had evolved into their own worlds. There were countless such things. Lu Ming was already used to it. After a month of traveling, they finally approached Embark Mountain. Standing in the universe star field, looking from afar, there was a huge mountain floating in the starry sky. Above it there was a demonic mist. This was Embark Mountain. Let's go! Lu Ming took the lead and flew over. At the same time, he used his divine power to envelop Wu Zifeng and Yu Linglong. This was because Yu Linglong and Wu Zifeng had not reached the heavenly god realm. Both of them were at the 7th level of the true god realm. To be honest, this cultivation speed was already extremely fast. Of course, compared to Lu Ming and Autumn Moon, it was naturally much worse. The four of them landed at the edge of Embark Mountain and then flew forward. Not long after, a large city appeared in front of them. Above the city gate, there were 3 large words, Devil General City. The city gate was quite lively, with people coming and going. The four of them walked in and then inquired about the situation of Embark Mountain. Embark Mountain was made up of a total of 37 large cities. The ruler of these cities was Embark City. The other 36 cities were all satellite cities of the Demon Capital Mountain, and they surrounded Demon Capital City and protected it. In Embark Mountain, Embark City was high and mighty. It was the unquestionable ruler and was extremely powerful. It was said that the city lord of Embark City was a divine king called the Dark Knight Divine King. Moreover, Embark City produced a special product called the Demonic Night Spring. This Demonic Night Spring was extremely helpful to a cultivator's soul. It could nourish the soul and increase the strength of the soul. A cultivator's soul was the most important. It was very difficult to increase it. One could imagine the value of the Demonic Night Spring. Embark Mountain's main source of income was selling the Demonic Night Spring. However, the Demonic Night Spring was so precious that there were definitely many forces eyeing it. Embark Mountain's Dark Knight Divine King was just an ordinary divine king. He could not control such a precious treasure at all. However, the truth was that no one dared to touch Embark Mountain. That was because behind Embark Mountain, there was a major force called the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Mansion supporting it. Many major forces in Chu Tian Star Field knew that Embark Mountain was supported by the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Mansion. However, they did not know which force it was. It seems like if I want to investigate whether the Dark Ice Tribe is colluding with the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Mansion, I have to start from Embark City. However, Embark City's law enforcement officers are very strict. They forbid outsiders from entering. Lu Ming frowned as he pondered. Embark City, unless it was a special occasion, outsiders were forbidden from entering. Therefore, Lu Ming had to think of a way to enter Embark City first before he could start his investigation. Unfortunately, Lu Ming could not think of a good way to enter Embark City for the next few days. On this day, Lu Ming and the other 3 were wandering around the streets, trying to gather information. Suddenly, several figures appeared in front of Lu Ming and the other 3, blocking their path. Chapter 2947. A total of 4 bulky men stood in front of Lu Ming and his crew. The 4 bulky men were wearing black metal armor. Their faces were chubby, indicating that they were ferocious characters. You 4 must be outsiders. I've never seen you before. One of the bulky men with a scar on his face scanned Lu Ming and his crew. His eyes flickered passionately when he saw Chiu Autumn Moon and Yu Linglong. That's right, we're outsiders. We've just come here for training. Lu Ming replied casually. Just come here? What nonsense? The man with a scar suddenly yelled with a hideous grin. He stared at Chiu Autumn Moon and Yu Linglong and said, "A while ago, 2 female thieves appeared in Demon General City and stole the city lord's treasure. I can see that their figures are similar to the 2 thieves. I'm going to arrest them and bring them back for interrogation. Brothers, take them down." The man with a scar yelled. "Ha, you two female thieves, just surrender." The other three bulky men in black armor walked toward Qiu Autumn Moon and Yu Linglong with perverted grins. Now, even an idiot could see that the knife-scarred man and the others had taken a liking to Qiu Yu and Yu Linglong's beauty and wanted to get their hands on them. The female thief was just an excuse. Wu Zifeng was infuriated. His aura burst out as he threw a punch forward. "A mere 7th layer true god realm dares to attack me?" The man with a scar let out a hollow laugh and threw a punch forward. A terrifying force surged in Wu Zifeng's direction. 3rd layer heaven god realm. The man's cultivation was at the 3rd layer heaven god realm, significantly stronger than Wu Zifeng's. Even if Wu Zifeng was a genius, he would not be able to make up for the difference. Seeing this palm strike, even if Wu Zifeng didn't die, he would be crippled. A figure appeared in front of Wu Zifeng and nullified the force of the man's attack with a wave. "Brat, you still dare to fight back? You don't know the difference between life and death. Brothers, leave these two brats to me. You guys take down those two chicks." The scarred man shouted. The other 3 men attacked at the same time. They stretched out their claws and tried to grab Qiu Autumn Moon and Yu Linglong. Lu Ming did not make a move. The other 3 burly men were only level 1 heavenly gods. They were no match for Autumn Moon. As expected, a snow-white blade light bloomed from Autumn Moon's hand. Blood spurted out, and 3 blood-curdling screams rang out. The 3 black-armored burly men retreated in a frenzy. 1 palm of each of the 3 black-armored men was cut off by Autumn Moon. Furthermore, Autumn Moon's attack was infused with the god force of a sovereign lord. It would be difficult for the 3 burly men to recover from it. "Oh, slut, you dare to break our hands? You're courting death. I'm going to take you down and ride you under my body." "Bitch!" The 3 black-armored burly men roared furiously, their anger soaring to the heavens. "Qiu Yu said coldly." With a wave of her hand, another blade light shot out from her hand. The 3 black-armored men were startled. They immediately backed away in an attempt to dodge the attack. However, Autumn Moon's attack was shockingly quick. In comparison, the 3 black-armored men were like snails. Another 3 popping sounds rang out, and everyone saw that the 3 black-armored burly men's bodies had stiffened, and they were completely motionless. Blood was seeping out from their foreheads. There was no sign of life in their bodies. The 3 black-armored men had fallen. Their souls had been destroyed by Autumn Moon at that instant. You dare to kill the people of the demon generals? You're courting death." The scarred man roared furiously. A ferocious aura burst out from his mouth. "I was planning to investigate in secret. I didn't want to cause any trouble, but you're courting death," Lu Ming said coldly. He took a step forward and threw a punch at the scarred man. "Demon General's saber!" The scarred man yelled. He drew out his saber and slashed at Lu Ming. However, even though the scarred man's cultivation was in the 3rd layer heaven god realm, which was on par with Lu Ming, he was only an ordinary heaven god with royal god force. His strength was too far away from Lu Ming's. Bang! A 9-clawed divine dragon flew out and charged towards the scar-faced man. The scarred man stood no chance against Lu Ming. As the 9-clawed dragon flew past, the scarred man's attacks were instantly nullified. Bang! The scarred man's body was torn apart by the 9-clawed dragon. He died on the spot. The scarred man and his companions were all dead. The streets were crowded with people who were watching the show. They began to discuss among themselves. "Those 4 young men are bold enough to kill the demon generals. They're done for. I'm afraid the other demon generals have been alerted. They will be here soon." As if to prove the words, a loud roar came from deep within the demon general city. "Close the gates and activate the formation. Those who dare to kill me will be ground to ashes." As soon as the words were spoken, the gates of the demon general city were swiftly closed. A light barrier rose into the sky above the city. Bang! Bang! Powerful auras burst out from all directions of the demon general city. Several black figures charged toward Lu Ming and his companions. Wu Zifeng and Yu Linglong were startled. On the other hand, Qiu Autumn Moon and Lu Ming remained calm. In the entire demon capital mountain, only the city lord was a god emperor realm expert. With Lu Ming's current strength, as long as it was not a god emperor, Lu Ming had nothing to fear. He could still escape. Bush. Figures flew over from all directions. They were all burly men in black armor, and there were people from all races. The demon general guards are here. The surrounding people were shocked. Many of them retreated to make space for the demon general guards. Lu Ming and his companions were surrounded by the demon general guards from all directions. There's quite a number of them. Lu Ming scanned the area and discovered that there were 3,000 demon general guards. 3,000 demon general guards were all heavenly god realm experts. Such a force was shocking. The demon general city is only one of the 36 citadels of the demon capital mountain. It's amazing that they have such a strong force. Lu Ming sighed inwardly. The strongest expert of the demon capital mountain was only in the first layer of the god king realm. Lu Ming couldn't help but marvel at the number of heavenly god realm experts under his command. Perhaps it has something to do with the demonic night spring? Lu Ming pondered. The demon capital mountain had the demonic night spring, so they were definitely rich. It wasn't impossible for them to gather so many heavenly god realm experts to form an army. Kid, you're the one who killed my demon general guards. A muscular man stepped forward. His violent aura pressed down on Lu Ming. The man was the general of the demon general guards. His cultivation was in the 6th layer heavenly god realm. That's right. Lu Ming replied calmly. Good, very good. You dare to kill my demon general guards in the demon general city? Very good. The general of the demon general guards said ferociously. He then yelled, Attack, kill the man, leave the woman alive. Chapter 2948. Kill. Following the order of the demon guard general, over 100 demon generals stepped forward and charged at Lu Ming. Their attacks were aimed at Lu Ming. In their eyes, only Lu Ming was a threat. Wu Zifeng and the others were nothing to be afraid of. You asked for it. Lu Ming said calmly. 10 god flames burned fiercely in his dantian. 10 different kinds of god force gathered together and surged toward Lu Ming's arm. Bang! Bang! Lu Ming threw a few punches, firing several 9-clawed dragons. A total of 6 9-clawed dragons stomped their claws and nullified the attacks of the demon generals. They continued to lunge at the demon generals with their enormous claws. Ah, crap! Back off! No! Over 100 demon generals screamed in terror. They tried to dodge, but it was too late. Regardless of whether it was a 1st-layer heaven god, a 2nd-layer heaven god, or a 3rd-layer heaven god, they all exploded into pieces with their souls destroyed. A single move had eliminated over 100 demon generals. Slash, slash, slash. Sounds of gasps could be heard from all around. They did not expect Lu Ming's strength to be so outstanding. Damn it, set up the demon generals' formation. The demon generals were astounded. They let out a roar and gathered the demon generals to set up the formation to deal with Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming would not give them the chance to do so. Sky-piercing. A cold voice could be heard as a brilliant spear glow was fired at the demon generals' formation. With this move, Lu Ming had triggered the double combat ability of the Battle Character Sutra. The demon general's formation stood no chance against the attack. His forehead was penetrated by the spear glow as his body fell to the ground. The general is dead. As soon as the demon general's formation died, the demon general's formation panicked and fled for their lives like ants on a hot pan. Hold your ground. Suddenly, a loud roar could be heard from the sky. A powerful aura spread across the place like a mountain. How dare you cause trouble in my demon general's city? Another furious roar could be heard in the sky. Following it, a figure charged at Lu Ming. Before the person arrived, a pitch-black palm was already aiming at Lu Ming. 8th layer heaven god realm. Lu Ming squinted his eyes slightly. As soon as the other party attacked, Lu Ming could sense his cultivation level. Lu Ming held the long spear in his hand and charged upward. A ray of spear gleam soared into the sky. It was as big as a mountain and pierced toward the palm print. Bang! The spear aura and the palm print collided with each other, resulting in an earth-shattering explosion. The sky shook violently, and the energy overflowed in all directions. Following this, the spear glow and palm strike. In the next moment, a purple-robed middle-aged man appeared in the sky. He was skinny, but his aura was like a mountain. City Lord, it's the City Lord. Greetings, City Lord. Seeing the purple-robed middle-aged man, the demon guard calmed down and bowed. Formation. The purple-robed middle-aged man waved his hand and spoke calmly. His voice was filled with authority. Immediately, thousands of demon generals and demon guards flashed and set up a large formation, waiting for the attack. The purple-robed middle-aged man stared coldly at Lu Ming. It has been a long time since someone dared to kill my demon generals in my demon general city. You will pay a heavy price for this. The City Lord of Jianghu City said coldly. Aren't you going to ask me why I killed them? Lu Ming said. I don't need to know why you killed them. I only need to know that you've killed the people of Jianghu City. That's enough. The Jianghu City's City Lord's voice became even colder. As soon as he finished the sentence, he charged at Lu Ming. His 8th layer Heaven God Realm cultivation was fully unleashed. A terrifying force crushed down on Lu Ming like a landslide. Lu Ming coldly snorted. The other party had attacked Lu Ming without any reason, which had also angered Lu Ming. In an instant, Lu Ming activated the battle's secret art's tripled combat strength. Buzz. The spear shuddered violently. A huge spear glow swept across the rift. Bang! Bang! The giant spear glow and the pitch-black palm seal clashed continuously. The two had exchanged more than 10 blows within the blink of an eye. Break, moon slashing. Lu Ming groaned. He held the spear with both hands and slashed forward. A giant crescent-shaped spear glow was fired forward. Bang! Bang! It shattered the palm seal that the City Lord of Jianghu City had executed. The City Lord of Jianghu City was startled. He was knocked back 10,000 meters before he managed to stabilize his figure. His face was slightly pale. He's that strong? The crowd and the demon generals were astounded. Lu Ming was only a 3rd layer Heaven God Realm cultivator, yet his strength was so outstanding that he was able to knock the City Lord of Jianghu City back. Could he be a peerless genius from the outside world? The City Lord of Jianghu City was astounded too. Apart from a peerless genius from the outside world, no one else would possess such outstanding strength. Humph, so what if he's a peerless genius from the outside world? He has to pay the price for killing my demon generals. The City Lord of Jianghu City's eyes turned cold. Kid, you're quite capable, but if that's all you've got, you're still going to die. Demon Soul Curse. The City Lord of Jianghu City yelled. Runes suddenly appeared on his body. The runes formed a curse similar to the Nether Dragon Blood curse that Lu Ming was inflicted with. However, the curse covered the City Lord of Jianghu City's body like demons. The City Lord of Jianghu City wore a painful expression. However, his aura skyrocketed. He had reached the 9th layer Heaven God Realm. Kid, die. The City Lord of Jianghu City let out a furious roar and charged at Lu Ming. His claws turned into demon claws that were sharper than god weapons as he grabbed at Lu Ming. Space breaking, space breaking. Lu Ming executed the first form of the 3 destructive strikes, the space breaking. Wisps of spear glows were emitted from Lu Ming's hand. They filled the rift as they charged at the City Lord of Jianghu City. The two exchanged blows once again. This time, they were on par with one another. The two continued to exchange blows in the air. Neither of them was able to defeat the other after exchanging a few dozen blows. With Lu Ming's current cultivation, even if he did not utilize the ancient god flesh, he could still fight a 9th layer Heaven God Realm expert by activating the battle seal. This kid, how is his strength so strong? The City Lord of Jianghu City was astounded. Meanwhile, a young man in a purple robe appeared not far away. Young City Lord. Many Jianghu guards greeted the young man when they saw him. The young man was the young City Lord of Jianghu City, Yanji. Yanji fixed his gaze at Lu Ming. A third-layer heaven god realm expert with such outstanding strength. Yan Ji murmured with strong jealousy in his eyes. However, the jealousy soon disappeared as he shifted his gaze. He fell into deep thought. Father, stop. Yan Ji transmitted his voice to the city lord of Jianghu City. Stop? The city lord of Jianghu City was confused. That's right, stop and reconcile with the man. His talent is outstanding. Perhaps we can use him to help us reclaim the spiritual liquid lake. Yan Ji continued to transmit his voice. Chapter 2949. Spiritual Liquid Lake? Not bad, not bad. The city lord of Jianghu City's eyes lit up. After exchanging a blow with Lu Ming, he quickly retreated. Wait, stop fighting. The city lord of Jianghu City shouted. Lu Ming's eyes moved. Initially, he wanted to activate the battle symbol art to increase his combat strength by 4 times to kill the city lord of Jianghu City. However, the city lord of Jianghu City suddenly stopped. Lu Ming was slightly stunned and stopped attacking. Little brother, with your strength, you must be a peerless genius from the outside world. I believe that you wouldn't kill people for no reason. What happened just now? The city lord of Jianghu City asked. Bullying the weak and fearing the strong. Lu Ming smiled in his heart. He thought that the city lord of Jianghu City was afraid of him after witnessing his strength. However, Lu Ming did not want to fight with the city lord of Jianghu City, nor did he want to make a big deal out of it. He came to the demon capital mountain to investigate the Dark Ice tribe and the theft of the 9 extinction Heavenly King mansion. If the matter was blown out of proportion, it would be detrimental to his investigation. What happened? Hee, your men are really overbearing. Lu Ming immediately told the city lord of Jianghu City what had happened. After listening to the story, the city lord of Jianghu City's face was filled with anger. He shouted coldly, I see. How dare you arrest people without knowing the truth? You deserve to die. Then he looked at the other Jianghu demon guards and said, What do I usually tell you? You must have evidence. Do you understand? Today, those who have fallen will be your lesson. Many of the Jianghu demon guards nodded. However, they felt strange. The city lord did not usually tell them to do that. Of course, they did not dare to question the city lord's words. Little brother, it seems like this is a misunderstanding. I was rash before and attacked you without knowing the reason. I am sorry. Fortunately, you are strong. Otherwise, I would have committed a sin. The city lord of Jianghu City said with a smile. Lu Ming smiled faintly. How could he not see through the city lord of Jianghu City's pretentious act? Then, how should we settle this? Lu Ming asked. Write it off, of course I'll write it off. The city lord of Jianghu City said. I'm Yan Ji, the young city lord of Jianghu City. How should I address you? At this time, Yan Ji flew over and greeted Lu Ming with cupped fists. As the saying goes, don't slap a smiling face. Lu Ming also smiled faintly and said, Lu Ming. So it's Brother Lu. Lu Ming should be from the 9 extinction Heavenly King mansion, right? Only the 9 extinction Heavenly King mansion can produce a genius like Brother Lu. Yan Ji said politely. More or less. Lu Ming naturally wouldn't deny it. Brother Lu is indeed the heaven's pride of the 9 extinction Heavenly King mansion. I like to make friends with Brother Lu the most in my life. Meeting someone like you today is truly a blessing of 3 lifetimes. Brother Lu, would you do me the honor and have a drink with me? Yan Ji said. Of course. A thought flashed through Lu Ming's mind, and he nodded in agreement. As the city lord of one of the 36 cities in the Devil Capital Mountain, he had a lot of authority in the Devil Capital Mountain. Perhaps, it would be helpful for Lu Ming to investigate the Dark Ice tribe. Lu Ming indeed needed to integrate himself into the Devil Capital Mountain in order to investigate the Dark Ice tribe. In this aspect, he needed the other party's help. Moreover, Lu Ming was skilled and bold, he wasn't afraid of the other party's tricks. Please. The city lord of Jianghu City waved his hand. Soon after, a banquet was prepared in one of the city lord mansion's main halls. Lu Ming, Qiu Autumn Moon, Wu Zifeng, and Yu Linglong were all present, accompanied by the city lord of Jianghu City and Yan Ji. Brother Lu, you came to the Devil Capital Mountain for the Devil Capital War, right? After drinking 2 cups, Yan Ji's gaze shifted as he asked with a smile. The Devil Capital War? Lu Ming, Wu Zifeng, and the others were puzzled. Brother Lu, you don't know about the Devil Capital War? Yan Ji was a little surprised. I don't know, it's my first time hearing about it. Lu Ming shook his head. Not for the Devil Capital War? Then Brother Lu is here for the Devil Night Spring? Yan Ji guessed again. That's right, I'm indeed here for the Devil Night Spring. Lu Ming's heart moved, but this time, he didn't deny it. It's not easy to get the Devil Night Spring, you have to enter the Devil Capital to have a chance to buy it. Brother Lu, do you have a way to enter the Devil Capital? Yan Ji asked tentatively. I don't have a way yet, I wonder if Brother Yan has a way to help me enter the Devil Capital? Lu Ming asked. Yan Ji's eyes flashed with joy. There is a way, but the number of people we can recommend to enter the Devil Capital is very limited. At this point, Yan Ji stopped. Here it comes. Lu Ming's heart moved. How could he not understand Yan Ji's tone? Lu Ming was about to raise a condition. Brother Yan, if you have something to say, just say it. Lu Ming said. Very well. Coincidentally, I have something that I would like to ask Brother Lu for help with. If Brother Lu is able to help me, I will think of a way to allow the 4 of you to enter Demon City. Even obtaining the Demonic Night Spring would not be impossible. Yan Ji said. Please say it. Lu Ming said. Recently, our Jianghu City and the nearby Demonic Ape City will have a duel. The younger generation will participate in the duel to compete for a mystical land. Each side will send out 3 people, and the mystical land will belong to the side that wins. I would like to invite Brother Lu to represent Jianghu City in the duel. Yan Ji finally revealed his purpose. Lu Ming smiled faintly. He already knew that Yan Ji had a condition. Otherwise, how could Yan Ji forget about killing so many people of the Devil Ape City? Okay, I agree. Lu Ming nodded. It was just a battle between the younger generation of the Devil Capital Mountain, so Lu Ming didn't care at all. It wasn't difficult for him, it was just a piece of cake. Tomorrow. Thank you, Brother Lu. Yan Ji raised his cup. The city lord of the Devil Capital sat at the side and slowly drank his wine without saying a word. After 3 rounds of wine, the feast finally came to an end. Lu Ming and the others stayed in the Devil Capital for the time being. The next day, Brother Lu Ming, in order to avoid alerting the enemy, it's not good for your friends to follow you. Why don't they stay in the Devil Capital for the time being? The city lord of the Devil Capital said. All right. Lu Ming nodded. It was just a few battles that would soon come to an end. It wouldn't hurt to let Qiu Yu and the others stay here for the time being. Following this, Lu Ming, Yan Ji, and another young man from the Devil Capital left the Devil Capital and headed to the Devil Ape City. The Devil Ape City was one of the 36 citadels of the Devil Capital Mountain. Devil Capital Mountain. Devil Capital City ruled over the Devil Capital Mountain. On the other hand, the 36 citadels fought among themselves. The Devil Capital City turned a blind eye to it. The Devil General City and the Devil Ape City fought fiercely against each other. In recent years, the 2 sides fought endlessly for a spiritual land and a spiritual liquid lake. Battles broke out from time to time. Chapter 2950. As such, the Demon General City and the Demon Ape City had set a rule. Every once in a while, they would send out 3 young geniuses to compete against each other. The winner would be granted the right to use the spiritual liquid lake. This time, it was time for the 2 sides to compete again. When Yan Ji saw Lu Ming's shocking strength, he decided to ask for Lu Ming's help. Thus he stopped the city lord of the Demon General City. Not long after, a huge city appeared before them. The city gate was shut tight. It was crowded with people. The city lord of the Demon Ape City was standing on top of the gate, and the son of the city lord of the Demon Ape City, who was Yan Ji's nemesis. Yuan Shan were here. Where's the person you're sending out? Yan Ji yelled while staring at a bulky young man. The young man had extremely long arms that reached his knees. He was the young master of the demon ape city, Yuan Shan. You're in such a rush. If you're so eager to lose, I'll grant you your wish. Yuan Shan chuckled and stepped forward. Following Yuan Shan were two other young men. A man and a woman. The man was rather ordinary. However, the woman was rather beautiful. On her arm, there was a brightly colored poisonous snake coiling around it. Yan Ji's eyes immediately focused on the woman with the snake coiling around her arm. His eyes glittered as he said, "I've never seen this beautiful lady before. Yuan Shan, is she someone you've invited from outside? Don't you have someone I've never seen before on your side too? Did you invite someone from outside too?" Yuan Shan's eyes flickered as he glanced at Lu Ming. Yan Ji's expression darkened. He glanced at the woman with the snake coiling around her arm doubtfully. They were familiar with the local geniuses of the Demon General Mountain, but they were not as confident as the geniuses from outside. Even though Lu Ming's strength was outstanding, his cultivation was only in the third-layer heaven god realm. Yan Ji was unsure of the woman's cultivation. "Yan Ji, make your move. I still have to go back and drink with Miss Lien," Yuan Shan yelled. His eyes flickered passionately as he glanced at the woman with the snake coiling around her arm. "We might not be the ones to lose. Lu Han, you go first," Yan Ji instructed. The young man beside Yan Ji stepped forward. "You go and deal with him." Yuan Shan pointed at a young man beside him. The young man stepped forward and stood opposite Lu Han. "It's still the same old rules. The final victor will be the victor," Yuan Shan said. Yan Ji nodded. Boom. The two youths on the field were engaged in an intense battle. Fourth level of the celestial god realm, controlling holy divine power. Lu Ming was slightly surprised. Lu Ming was indeed surprised that a genius chosen from the two acropolises under the demon capital mountain had such a cultivation base. In the Qin Tian star field, such a person could already be considered a holy son. It's said that Qin Tian star area is at the edge of the Taishu dynasty. Its cultivation level is very low. Even the Jianghu Heavenly King Mansion doesn't care about it. It seems like it's true. Lu Ming pondered. Although Chu Tian star area was close to Qin Tian star area, its cultivation level was far above Qin Tian star area. The Jianghu Heavenly King Mansion had an army stationed here and sent people to manage it. Whether it was the cultivation environment or the cultivation level, Chu Tian star area was far above Qin Tian star area. Naturally, there were more geniuses here. The two of them had similar cultivation and battle strength. After exchanging a few hundred blows, both of them suffered heavy injuries and retreated while vomiting blood. The first round ended in a draw. "Yan Ji, it's our turn." Yuan Shan took a step forward, causing the void to rumble. "This time, I will definitely defeat you." Yan Ji's eyes flashed with a ferocious light. He and Yuan Shan had been fighting since they were young. However, he was always slightly weaker than Yuan Shan. This had always been his sore point. "Defeat me? Ha, Yan Ji, let me tell you, you'll never be my match." Yuan Shan laughed and waved his long arms. A huge fist was thrown at Yan Ji, causing a dull explosion in the air. Yan Ji countered with a punch. The two knew each other's moves very well. As such, they were evenly matched at the beginning. Neither of them could do anything to the other. Their cultivation was in the fifth layer heaven god realm. Ape Emperor transformation. After a while, Yuan Shan let out a furious roar. His body began to swell as long hair grew on his skin. He had turned into a giant ape over 50 meters tall. "You've mastered the Ape Emperor transformation." Yan Ji yelled in astonishment. "Ha, I told you, you'll never be my match." Yuan Shan burst out laughing as he stomped his foot on the ground. Each step would shatter the ground and send rocks flying in all directions. Bang! Yuan Shan's fist, which was like a small hill, smashed down towards Yan Ji. Yan Ji let out a roar. His body emitted a pitch-black god force that turned into a few demonic sabers slashing at Yuan Shan. However, when Yuan Shan's fist landed on the demonic sabers, the sabers vibrated vigorously and exploded. "You'll lose, you'll lose." Yuan Shan let out a roar while throwing punches at Yuan Shan. Yan Ji went all out too, slashing the demonic sabers wildly. In just an instant, he had executed a few hundred slashes. However, Yan Ji was still no match for Yuan Shan. The demonic sabers continued to shatter, unable to resist Yuan Shan's attacks. Bang! In the end, Yuan Shan landed a punch on Yan Ji. Yan Ji let out a cry of agony as his body was sent flying like a cannonball. He slammed heavily onto the ground and vomited mouthfuls of blood. Yan Ji, I told you you're no match for me. Yuan Shan burst out laughing in an extremely smug manner. Yan Ji wore an unpleasant expression. This time, he had lost even more decisively than before. The gap between him and Yuan Shan had widened once again. Now, he could only wait and see Lu Ming's performance. Kid, come, show me the strength of an outsider. Yuan Shan glanced at Lu Ming. Make your move. Once I make my move, you won't have the chance to make your move anymore. Lu Ming said calmly. Even though Yuan Shan was quite strong, he was not too worried about him. Arrogant. Yuan Shan roared. He stomped his feet and pounced on Lu Ming like a small mountain. His huge fists blasted out consecutively. The violent fist force pressed down on Lu Ming. Even though Yuan Shan said that Lu Ming was arrogant, he went all out when he made his move. He did not dare to be careless against an outsider. Lu Ming executed the Garuda technique. His body flickered a few times and he evaded Yuan Shan's attack. However, Yuan Shan's body was also extremely fast. He twisted his body and charged at Lu Ming again. Lu Ming dodged again. If you're so capable, don't run. Fight me head-on. Yuan Shan roared. I'm giving you a chance to perform. Once I make my move, you won't stand a chance. Since you're so impatient, I'll fulfill your wish. Lu Ming's voice was heard. Chapter 2951. Lu Ming's voice rang out. Then, he took a step forward and his fist shone with the radiance of divine power. A dragon's roar resounded through the 9 heavens. A 9-clawed dragon flew out from Lu Ming's palm and pounced on Yuan Shan. Yuan Shan's pupils shrank rapidly. He roared and threw out his fists like a storm. In an instant, he threw out hundreds of punches. However, the dragon claw of the 9-clawed divine dragon Dharma idol crushed all of his fists. A dragon claw slammed into Yuan Shan's body, causing him to scream miserably. His 50-meter-tall ape body was sent flying and smashed into the walls of Demon Ape City, causing the walls to rumble and shake. Yuan Shan's body quickly shrank to the size of an ordinary person. He spat out mouthfuls of blood and his eyes were filled with shock. Lu Ming was right. Once he attacked, Yuan Shan had no chance to attack. On the city walls, the Demon Ape City's city lord snorted coldly. Miss Lien, it's up to you now. Yuan Shan stabilized his injuries and looked at the woman with the snake coiled around her arm. The woman with the snake coiled around her arm smiled and took a step forward. She came before Lu Ming and said, Young master, you have a good cultivation. May I know which family you're from? Why should I tell you which family I'm from? Don't try to get close to me. Lu Ming curled his lips. The woman's face darkened. With her looks, most men wouldn't reject her initiative to get close to a man. She didn't expect Lu Ming to be so boring. Hee, although your cultivation is good, it's nothing in front of me. Go, kill him. The woman's face turned cold. She waved her arm and the small snake coiled around her arm pounced at Lu Ming. Its speed was as fast as lightning. A long spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand and he thrust it at the small snake. However, the small snake was very agile. It twisted its body and dodged Lu Ming's long spear. It continued to pounce at Lu Ming. Hiss! In the process of pouncing, the little snake opened its mouth and spat out a thick green mist. Instantly, the space was filled with a disgusting smell. Poison! Deadly poison! Lu Ming's expression changed. The poison in the untainted universe was naturally incomparable to the poison in the heaven realm and the primordial realm. It was extremely terrifying. Legend had it that some poisons could instantly poison all the living beings on an entire life planet to death. Retreat! Seeing this, Yuan Shan and the others were shocked. They quickly retreated and distanced themselves from the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. Yan Ji and the other young man were startled as they immediately backed off. The thick green poisonous gas spread towards Lu Ming. Break the sky, break the sky. Lu Ming's long spear vibrated, continuously thrusting out. The spear light stirred the air, stirring up the poisonous gas. However, the venomous snake was extremely agile. It kept flashing as it approached Lu Ming. Then he spat out a mouthful of venom like an arrow leaving the bow. This venom was formed by liquefied poisonous gas and its power was even more terrifying. However, Lu Ming's expression was calm. He waved his hand and divine power surged out, forming a wall of energy. The venom spat on the wall of energy and made a sizzling sound, but it didn't break the wall of energy. Sovereign divine power, humph. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm saw Lu Ming's divine power and snorted coldly. She twisted her waist and charged towards Lu Ming personally. A soft whip appeared in her hand and she waved it like a venomous snake. 6th level heavenly god? As soon as the woman attacked, Lu Ming sensed her strength. Moreover, the divine power that she cultivated was of the divine grade. The soft whip whistled and its power was terrifying. Moon-slaying, Lu Ming muttered. 10 types of divine power gathered and formed a crescent-shaped spear light, slashing towards the soft whip. With a puff, to Lu Ming's surprise, the soft whip was cut in half without any resistance. However, after the soft whip was cut in half, it turned into a thick mist that shrouded Lu Ming. Hee, being shrouded by my god-destroying mist, just wait for your death. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm said ferociously, filled with murderous intent. Lu Ming frowned. This woman was trying to kill him every time she attacked. Her methods were extremely ruthless. The mist spread and rushed towards Lu Ming as if it had a mind of its own. Lu Ming's heart stirred. 10 types of divine powers covered his entire body, protecting him and keeping the fog outside. However, Lu Ming's expression changed when he realized that his divine power couldn't completely block the mist. Wisps of mist seeped into the wall of divine power and entered Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming's body didn't have much defense against the mist. However, the mist didn't cause any harm to Lu Ming's body. It went straight for Lu Ming's sea of consciousness and rushed towards Lu Ming's soul. Sizzle, Lu Ming's soul made sizzling sounds. Waves of piercing pain spread throughout Lu Ming's body. This mist could actually harm the soul. In the primitive universe, most cultivators mainly cultivated divine power. The divine body was second. Those who cultivated the soul were the least. Most people thought that as long as one's divine power was strong enough, they could destroy everything, including heaven and earth. No matter how strong your soul was, if I destroyed your divine body, your soul would also be destroyed. Then what was the use of cultivating the soul? Therefore, it was Lu Ming's first time encountering a direct attack on the soul in the primitive universe. Boom! Lu Ming controlled his divine power and rushed towards the soul, wanting to destroy the mist. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The collision between the divine power and the mist produced sizzling sounds. However, the effect wasn't as obvious as Lu Ming had imagined. Still not dead? The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm widened her eyes in surprise. An ordinary third-level heavenly god would have their soul obliterated in an instant if they were enveloped by her mist. However, Lu Ming seemed fine. She naturally didn't know that Lu Ming controlled 10 types of divine power. 2 of them were divine-grade divine power. The 10 types of divine power had more or less neutralized a portion of her mist. Therefore, the mist was harmful to Lu Ming, but it wasn't too serious. It just stung a little. Little poisonous mist, let this old lady absorb it. At this time, the voice of the measure formula resounded. The word measure glowed and a strong suction force appeared. The mist was immediately absorbed by the measure formula. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm also sensed the absorption of the mist. Her expression changed, and then she shouted. The little snake wrapped around Lu Ming again. It's time to end this. Lu Ming whispered. 9 ice chains suddenly flew out from his body. The 9 ice shackles immediately wrapped around the little snake. As the chill spread, the little snake was immediately frozen into an ice cube. "Oh, you release little green." The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm screamed. "Release it? Is that possible? You've been trying to kill me since the beginning. If I don't teach you a lesson, do you think I'm easy to bully?" Lu Ming sneered. The ice chains shook, and the little snake was directly crushed into powder. Chapter 2952. You killed Little Green. You actually killed Little Green. I want you dead, I want you dead. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm screamed, her eyes bloodshot. She opened her mouth, and from her mouth, mist was constantly spewing out, enveloping Lu Ming. Lu Ming was enveloped by the mist. Suddenly, dragon roars sounded from within the mist. Then, 6 9-clawed dragons appeared, each of them 10,000 meters long. They roared towards the sky, their dragon aura filling the air. The 6 9-clawed dragons pounced, releasing a vast amount of energy. The mist was instantly dispersed, scattering in all directions. The Kunpeng's figure flashed, and Lu Ming appeared in front of the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm was shocked. She quickly retreated, and with a push of her hands, several giant pythons condensed, pouncing towards Lu Ming. However, the 6 9-clawed dragons pounced, and the giant pythons shattered. Bang! The 9-clawed dragon pounced, and its dragon claw struck the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. The woman screamed, and followed in Yuan Shan's footsteps. She crashed into the city wall, spitting out large mouthfuls of blood. Who knew how many bones in her body were broken? The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm was only at the 6th level of the heavenly god realm. Even if she controlled divine-grade divine power, she was only at the same level as Qin Wuyo. However, her methods were strange and could directly harm the soul, which was why Lu Ming was delayed. Now that the mist was useless against Lu Ming, the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm was naturally unable to withstand a single blow. "Kill!" Lu Ming shouted coldly, and the 9-clawed dragon continued to pounce towards the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. Since the other party wanted to kill him, Lu Ming wouldn't let her go. "No, City Lord Ape, save me!" The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm screamed in fear. "Stop!" The City Lord of Ape Demon City shouted, and his body burst out, punching out, and destroyed the 9-clawed dragon, saving the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. 9th level heavenly god? Lu Ming muttered. The Ape Devil City's City Lord's cultivation was 1 level higher than the Jianghu City's City Lord's. However, Lu Ming was fearless and faced him from afar. "Governor Yuan, are you trying to break the rules?" Yanji roared. According to the rules, the older generation couldn't interfere. Otherwise, the Devil General City's City Lord could go to Devil Capital City to impeach the Devil Ape City's City Lord and make him suffer the consequences. Who said that I'm going to break the rules? It's just that the outcome of the battle has already been decided. Why should I kill him? The Demon Ape City Lord said coldly. Lu Ming sneered, but he did not continue to attack. He was not afraid of the City Lord of Ape Demon City. However, if he were to fight with the City Lord of Ape Demon City, he might expose some of his trump cards. Lu Ming felt that it was better to keep some trump cards hidden in Modu City. "Mayor Yuan, we've won this battle. The spiritual liquid lake belongs to us." Yanji shouted. The Ape Devil City's City Lord's face was a little gloomy. He didn't expect Jianghu City to have invited such a powerful genius. Even the woman with a snake wrapped around her arm was no match for him. "Take it." The Ape Devil City's City Lord waved his hand and a token flew towards Yanji. Yanji caught it in his hand. Looking at the token in his hand, Yanji was overjoyed. With this token, the spiritual liquid lake would belong to the Jianghu City. In the future, the strength of the Jianghu City would definitely increase. "Let's go." The Ape Devil City's City Lord snorted and turned to walk into the city. The others also turned and left. "Kid, you killed Xiaolu. I'll remember this debt." The woman with a snake wrapped around her arm glanced coldly at Lu Ming and flew into the city. Brother Lu, it's all thanks to you this time. Yenj came to Lu Ming and thanked Lu Ming. It's okay. You just have to help me enter Emodu City. Lu Ming smiled faintly. That's for sure. Let's go back. Yenji said. The three of them immediately headed towards Jianghu City. Not long after, in the main hall of Jianghu City. Great. The Jianghu City's city lord looked at the token in his hand and laughed heartily. He had been competing with Ape Devil City for many years and had been suppressed for many years. Now that he had finally won, he was naturally happy. City Lord Yen, where are my friends? Lu Ming asked. The city lord of Jianghu City wore a smile upon hearing this. Your friends are currently cultivating in seclusion. They will most likely take some time to come out from their seclusion. Brother Lu, you should stay here for a while. Seclusion? Lu Ming's face darkened and a cold light flashed in his eyes. The city lord was lying. It wouldn't take much time for him to compete with Ape Devil City. Autumn Moon and the others would never choose to go into seclusion at this time. Moreover, the three of them were going into seclusion together. City Lord Yen, where are my friends? I want to see them. Lu Ming raised his voice. It was obvious that he didn't believe the city lord. Brother Lu, they are really in seclusion, the city lord of Jianghu City said. Bang! A powerful aura burst out from Lu Ming's body and filled the hall with a terrifying aura. Yen Ji's face changed and he immediately backed away behind the city lord of Jianghu City. The city lord of Jianghu City's expression darkened as his expression changed rapidly. Tell me, where are my friends? Don't try to fool me with the excuse that they are in seclusion. Lu Ming's voice was filled with a cold, murderous intent. Sigh. The city lord of Jianghu City suddenly let out a sigh and said, That's right, they are not in seclusion. They are no longer in Jianghu City. Not in Jianghu City? What do you mean? Lu Ming's voice turned colder as he tried his best to suppress the anger in his heart. Someone took them away. The city lord of Jianghu City said. Lu Ming asked. Brother Lu Ming, it's better if you don't ask. You can't afford to offend them. The city lord of Jianghu City said. Tell me, who is it? Lu Ming yelled. Brother Lu Ming, you'd better leave now. Just treat your friends as dead. The city lord of Jianghu City said. Bang, bang, bang. His words caused Lu Ming's aura to become even more violent, like a volcano that was about to erupt. Tell me. Lu Ming's voice was cold and filled with a cold, murderous intent. His patience had reached its limit. Sigh, since Brother Lu is so stubborn, I will tell you. The city lord of Jianghu City sighed and took a few steps forward. He approached Lu Ming as if he was going to tell Lu Ming something. However, when the city lord of Jianghu City approached Lu Ming, his eyes emitted a cold, murderous intent as he shouted, Die! A demonic saber was thrust at Lu Ming's forehead. You're courting death. Lu Ming was infuriated. His divine power erupted like a volcano. At the same time, the battle formula was activated, which increased his combat power by 4 times. An ice chain flew out from between his eyebrows and blocked the attack of the city lord of Jianghu City. The city lord of Jianghu City quickly retreated after his attack failed. He brought Yen Ji far away. Chapter 2953. Do it. The city lord of the Jiang Demons City yelled after retreating far enough with Yen Ji. Bush. As soon as the city lord of the Jiang Demon City finished his words, many figures appeared from all directions. There were more than 3,000 demon generals surrounding the area. Not even a drop of water could trickle through. Furthermore, the positions of the demon generals and guards were all orderly. Over 3,000 demon generals and guards had set up a grand formation. The city lord of the Jiang Demon City was prepared and had no intention of letting Lu Ming go. My friend, where are you? Lu Ming asked again. His killing intent had reached its peak. I don't mind telling you. Your friends have been taken away by the people of the Demon City. I was the one who informed them to come. The city lord of the Jiang Demon City sneered. Why? Lu Ming suppressed his anger and asked. He needed more information to save Chiu Moon and the others. But, let me tell you. The demon king of the night has placed a demonic soul curse on every city lord of the Acropolis. This curse has been tormenting me all the time, and only those who have made great contributions can get rid of this curse. Do you understand? Your friends are very talented. If you give them to the demon city, they will be the best materials to become demon slaves. The city lord of the Jiang demon city laughed maniacally. Lu Ming understood that the city lord of the Jiang demon city had given Qiu Moon, Wu Zifeng, and Yu Linglong to the demon city to get rid of the demonic soul curse. I helped you get the spiritual liquid lake back, and this is how you repay me? Lu Ming said coldly. It's every man for himself. I can be freed by sacrificing you. What's wrong with that? As long as I take you down and give you to the demon king, he will definitely get rid of the demonic soul curse. The city lord of the Jiang demon city laughed. His face was full of anticipation, as if he could already see the moment when the demonic soul curse was removed. You deserve to die. Lu Ming said coldly, his voice incomparably cold. At this moment his desire to kill the city lord of Jiangma City had reached its peak. He truly did not expect the Jiangma City city master to be so despicable. No wonder he suggested that Qiu Autumn Moon and the rest stay here. It turned out that he had already planned everything. He didn't even want to let Lu Ming off. Lu Ming, you do have some strength, but I've already made preparations. I've laid down the demon guard formation and gathered the strength of 3,600 demon guards. It's more than enough to suppress you. Attack! The city lord of Jiangma City roared. Kill! A total of 3,600 demon guards roared, and their godly energy converged in a strange way, forming a giant hand that slammed down on Lu Ming, wanting to suppress Lu Ming. The power of the palm was at least at the 9th layer heavenly god realm. Boom! Lu Ming rushed up, activating the battle character secret art to quadruple his battle prowess. A spear light pierced through the air and collided with the giant palm. The palm shuddered violently before it shattered into pieces. However, it was only the first wave of attacks from the enemy. Following it, more palm strikes were formed, suppressing Lu Ming continuously. Lu Ming kept executing the sky-breaking move. Wisps of spear glows soared into the sky, shattering the palm strikes. The two sides were in a stalemate. That's strong. The city lord of Jiangma City wore an astounded look. The power of the demon guard formation was enough to suppress an ordinary 9th layer heavenly god realm cultivator, but Lu Ming was still standing. He was utterly shocked by Qi Nan's strength. Activate the second wave of attacks from the demon guard formation. The city lord of Jiangma City yelled. The 3,600 demon guards immediately began to move. They gathered the godly qi of the heavens and earth in a strange pattern, increasing the power of the formation. Lu Ming immediately lost his footing. His spear glows were suppressed. Lu Ming, no matter how strong you are, you will still be suppressed by me. The city lord of Jiangma City burst out laughing in excitement. The stronger Lu Ming was, the more attention he would receive after he was presented to the demon emperor of the night, thus it would be easier for him to get rid of the demon soul curse. Bang! Bang! The city lord of Jiangma City stepped forward and charged at Lu Ming. Runes appeared on his body, forming runes that formed runes. They were the demon soul curse. Even though the demon soul curse was constantly tormenting him, it could temporarily improve his strength once he used it. As he executed the demon soul curse, the curses began to roar like demons. The city lord of Jiangma City's strength had risen to the 9th layer heavenly god realm. Bang! He cooperated with the demon guard formation and threw a punch at Lu Ming. You will all die. A cold voice burst out from Lu Ming's mouth. He had not revealed all his trump cards since he came to the demon capital mountain, as he was planning to use them at the crucial moment. However, he had no choice but to use them now. A roar burst out from Lu Ming's mouth. It was the roar of an ancient god. Lu Ming's body rapidly grew, turning into a blue-armored ancient god that was a few hundred meters tall. The main hall of the city lord mansion crumbled under Lu Ming's enormous body, sending debris flying everywhere. What's that? The 100-meter-tall ancient god stood in the sky above the city lord mansion. It was hard not to attract attention. Many people in Jianghu City looked at Lu Ming in shock. Bang! After turning into a young ancient god, Lu Ming's strength skyrocketed, and he swept out with his giant spear. Bang! 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 The attacks coming at Lu Ming from all directions exploded and turned into rolling waves of energy that were swept back by Lu Ming's spear. Immediately, at least several hundred demon generals screamed miserably as their bodies exploded, dying on the spot. The city lord of Jianghu City grunted as he was swept by the spear. He was knocked back and vomited blood. How is this possible? How is this possible? Looking at the 100-meter-tall ancient god, the city lord of Jianghu City screamed in horror. Lu Ming still has such a trump card. He is so powerful. Is he still human? Kill! 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 Lu Ming roared as he used the moon-slashing move. The long spear swept out, and the crescent-shaped spear radiance covered half of the area. Puff! The demon guard formation could not withstand a single blow and was broken. In this direction, at least 1,000 devil generals died under the spear lights without even having the chance to scream. Monster, monster. The city lord of Jianghu City trembled violently, and his face was filled with horror. Yan Ji was in an even worse state. He broke out in cold sweat as he looked at Lu Ming, who was like a god of war, and almost wet himself. Let's go, let's go. The city lord of Jianghu City came to his senses and tried to escape with Yan Ji. However, Lu Ming would not let him escape. Stay here. Lu Ming roared as his long spear pressed down like a mountain towards the city lord of Jianghu City. Rumble! The spear radiance was thousands of miles long. As it pressed down, the city lord mansion exploded and was razed to the ground. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Immortal Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.